Is this one? Testing. Did you start? Okay, shalom.
Shalom.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Sawab? Who we missing? Yeah, where are they at? Oh, does she? Because we needed the rest of them to do this. Where's Diane? Okay, everybody go ahead and send that text out real quick for class. We let everybody get online. Do like we always do. And do y'all have any questions? Does anybody have any questions on anything? Any comments? Anything y'all want to go over or touch on? We're gonna give everybody online that second, or give everybody online that chance to log in. Let me see. Let me hit up this brother. There's a brother that the new brother that I've been watching. I want to give him this real quick. What's wrong with this mic? Test it. Test the volume.
Because when we tweaked it, the way I had to tweak it was everything was off. It was like an echo.
Right. Okay. Does anybody got any questions? Does the mic work? Does it work anymore like usual? Like when we turn it up, is it gonna work like usual?
It works like this. I mean,
What do you mean like that?
like before.
Did the mic did it get blown?
Before this, it was worse.
No, what I'm asking is, did the mic get blown? All right, brothers and sisters online, did y'all have any questions? Now's the time to go ahead and hit me up for this Sabbath class. I'm sure y'all have a lot of questions in here. If you have any questions before we start class. Actually, class is going to be over a question a young brother had. So I'm going to be going over that tonight. It's a question a brother had. So we're going to answer, whatever questions that come up, and then go ahead and answer your questions. And then we're going to answer his question. I'm sorry, I'm sending this out real quick. All right. So nobody has any questions in here? Yeah, I should have a lot of questions, man. All the things y'all going through, man. Everything that brothers and sisters go through at battle, y'all should have a lot of questions. Y'all should be doing a lot of studying. That's the only way those spirits is gonna get away from you, get off of you, is by studying and staying in the scriptures. So y'all should have a lot of questions scripturally. So we'll give them a chance online. Do we have any announcements or anything we need to announce? As we wait for all these brothers and sisters to log in.
We got Pure M coming up, February 23rd, sundown to the 24th sundown.
Okay. So Pure Rim's coming up. Pure Rim is coming up. From when?
February 23rd sundown till the 24th sundown.
Right. Cool. Is this a new chord?
Yes.
See, the mic should be doing that. It should be, I don't care what you did, what you tweaked, it should be doing that. Unless it's broke. Or, unless, like I said, that's why you got the master all the way up on high. Testing, testing, testing. All right, let me know if they have any questions on there before we start. You got that echo up there. Yeah, very no bueno, man. No bueno. Testing, 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 testing. There you go. Testing, testing, testing. Somebody broke it. Somebody broke this mic. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing, testing. Do we got any questions yet? What other announcements we got? There's a question on there? Go ahead. What's the question, Wiley?
I have a question about the tribe of Dan. What happened to them and why aren't they mentioned in the Revelations?
Well, anybody that tries to give any real information on the tribe of Dan, really there's not a lot. When you go into Revelation 7, it's plain they're not there. When they're mentioned in the tribes, they're not accounted for as a tribe. So they never really fully develop as a tribe. You know, there's not a lot of information about that biblically. And I think you'll hear all Israelites say the same common thing, which is they never became a tribe. But scripturally, you know, there's you know, nowhere you can go in the scriptures and say that, oh yeah, this is it, because it's not there. It's just they weren't fully shown as tribes, and in Revelations we know that they're not mentioned. So the obvious thing is that they never became a full tribe. Okay, so that's with Dan. Okay, so any other questions?
None.
What else we got?
Said, I heard that the birthright and the blessing were separate. If true, was Esau truly immoral for giving away his birthright? Because
the birthright and the what?
Birthright and the blessing were separate.
Birthright and the blessing.
Like you have the birthright.
No, that's not true. The birthright was commanded in the law. And what the Father did was he just reiterated that blessing. That's all that was. Remember, because it's in the law. Go to Deuteronomy, what is it, 22? Deuteronomy 22. Y'all let the kids in here mess around with this microphone. Now it's broke. Somebody broke this mic. We just bought this thing, man. Somebody broke it. It's going to have to be paid for. Go ahead. Go to Deuteronomy 22. Deuteronomy 22, verse, let's see here. Yeah, because the birthright, that was already ordained in the law. So so when, you know, these men, righteous men, they reiterated what was already in the law, what was already ordained by the Most High. So read Deuteronomy 22, verse, what is it? Let's see here. What is it? Is it if a man has two wives? Is it 22 or?
It's 21 and 15.
There you go. Sorry, it's not 22. It is 21 and verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse 15.
Right. Hold on. Wait till everybody get it.
Fine.
Wait till everybody gets it. Read that. Deuteronomy 21, verse 15. Go ahead.
If a man have two wives, one beloved and the other hated, and they have borne him children.
Right. So, in the law, it's reiterating. If this situation comes up, and y'all hear this scripture a lot when we talk about more than one wife, right? You hear this one. So we know that in the law, it was okay for a man to have more than one wife. But this instance is going to give you a little more edification on this brother's or sister's question. So if a man have two wives, one loved and one hated, go ahead.
And they have borne him children.
Right.
Both the beloved and the hated.
Right.
And if the firstborn son be heirs that was hated.
Right. And the first if the firstborn son be heir, it be hers, be hers that was hated, right? Yeah, you gotta, let's try it again. Read it right.
Deuteronomy chapter 21 and 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated.
Right.
And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated.
Right.
Then it shall be when he maketh his son to.
So here's the situation. The woman that he dislikes, she happens to be, the child happens to be the firstborn. Okay? Go ahead.
Then it shall be when he maketh his son to inherit that which he has.
Right.
That he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated.
Right. So you see that, right? So he couldn't, just because he liked this woman more, he would take that son and give him to be the firstborn inheritance. He couldn't do that. He would have to go with the so-called the hated one, the disliked one, right? And that child would not lose his inheritance. So that's what this is about. When we're dealing with inheritance here, we're dealing with the birth, the blessing, you know, that the Most High ordained that the firstborn child was supposed to receive that inheritance. So that wasn't supposed to be changed. So in this instance, the reason why I went here is because now you have drastic measures. You have a situation where the one that's, you have one love and one hated, and the Most High is like, listen, that doesn't change nothing. It doesn't change nothing for the inheritance, right? Unless it's who changes it. Everybody whispered it, but didn't say it. What is it?
The Most High.
Right, except the Most High, because when you look at Isaac and Ishmael, who was the firstborn?
Ishmael.
Ishmael was the firstborn. So in those instances, when you look at Esau and Jacob, who was the firstborn?
Esau.
Right, but see what happens is that the Most High switched it. It was by his command. So that inheritance was supposed to go to the firstborn son, but who changed it?
Most High.
Right, but to answer their question is that it's the same thing. The blessing is what I'm speaking of out of the law. You know, when he called over Jacob, disguised as Esau, to give him the blessing, it was already set. Everything was already set. The elder shall serve the younger, right? So all he's doing is just reiterating. He's reiterating the blessing that was already sent out. Y'all get that? Okay, yeah.
So if I'm hearing you correct, the blessing is actually what the Most High ordained, not the fact that you're the firstborn.
Well, the law already ordained it. The law already ordained it.
That's the blessing.
That's the blessing. That's the inheritance. Yeah, that's it. That was what he was getting, right?
And that is the birthright.
The birthright. So he's just reiterating what the Most High already had commanded. So we're reading out of the law is commanded already. You have to give the firstborn the birthright. You can't take that from him, right? Yeah.
Does it matter? Does this deal with does it matter if if you have a daughter? Does the birthright only go to sons?
It's supposed to only go to sons. That's why what happens in the law when you don't have a son? What was supposed to happen? If you die,
your brother is supposed to have a son.
Your brother is supposed to bear a child in your name to keep your lineage alive.
What if that never happened?
Then the Most High cursed you. Yeah, that was yeah.
And is it a curse because then your lineage stops?
Yeah, your lineage basically ends
Okay.
right there. That's why you have a lot in the Old Testament. He's like, go ahead and kill them, kill their kids, kill their kids. Everybody dies. Why? To stop the inheritance from going down. You know, just like I'm going to go over it a little bit tonight, but really not into this point. But when you look at Saul, when he died, right now, all his kids died, but one popped up like trying to rule when David was ruling. That's not what the Most High ordained. So now we got to deal with this individual ruling on the side, right? But that's not the way the Most High meant it in that situation. You know, but that's what's going to come up. You have that child down the road that's going to bear the inheritance of the father. Right? So y'all get that, right? Y'all understand? All that is just the child keeps the inheritance, gets the blessing. The blessing is the inheritance. It's all one and the same. It's already ordained by the Most High. What the righteous man would do is reiterate the fact what the Most High said. You know, which is, this is already due to you, and I'm coming back to remind you of this blessing. Right? Y'all got that? Okay. So, you got anything else on that?
I got a couple scriptures, but it's basically showing the same thing what you were talking about.
Okay, go there. Where are we at?
Like 2 Chronicles 21 and 2 Chronicles chapter 21 and verse 3.
2 Chronicles chapter 21 verse 3.
Give me a comment once you get it.
I
read that.
2 Chronicles chapter 21 and verse 3. And their father gave them great gifts of silver and of gold and of precious things, with fenced cities in Judah. But the kingdom gave heed to Jehoram, because he was the firstborn.
You see that? So whether it be materialistic or the gifts from the Most High, that firstborn got whatever that was. That was that birthright. That was that blessing. You also got chapter 2. You also have I believe it was Numbers. Go to Numbers.
Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing. Testing.
Oh, you can start at 3 and verse 12.
Testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing.
Numbers chapter 3 and verse 12.
Testing. Testing.
Numbers chapter 3 and 12. And I, behold, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that openeth the matrix among the children of Israel. Therefore the Levites shall be mine, because all the firstborn are mine.
What did it say?
Because all the firstborn are mine.
So all the firstborn child, that firstborn man child, that belongs to the Most High. So he's the one he's giving that blessing. He's giving the blessing to that firstborn.
Right. Well, you're kind of veering off the point, because that's talking about, you know, that priesthood, as opposed to a man giving his blessing to the child. But no, that one's more talking about the priests. Okay. All right. We can scrap that one from that. But hopefully that Deuteronomy and the other one in Corinthians. Chronicles. I'm sorry. Chronicles answers the brother's question.
Exodus 13 and 2. Or 13, you started 13 and 1.
Okay, go ahead and read that. Is it on point?
Yeah, it's
all right. Let's go ahead and read it then.
Exodus chapter 13 and verse 2. Sanctify unto me all the firstborn.
You started at verse 1.
Exodus chapter 13 and 1.
Testing.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it's mine.
See that?
It is mine. And Moses.
What happened?
Oh, read it again.
Exodus chapter 13 and verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, it is mine.
Right. That's once again talking about that what the Most High requires. The Most High wanted those firstborn to be holy unto him. Okay. All right, but that's good. Did we have any other questions on that? We have any other questions before we move on? What we got?
Is there Israelites in other parts of the world other than that shown on the 12 tribes chart?
Yeah, the 12 tribes chart is just a go to Romans 11:11. Yeah, Israelites are scattered everywhere. Israelites are scattered everywhere. They're scattered through the four corners of the earth. This is why Christ said, go to the four corners of the earth. This is why Christ went, he said, now go to all nations. Because the prophecy was that all Israelites will be scattered everywhere. So of course there's Israel everywhere. Read Isaiah 11:11. This is one of the, and you get the one in Deuteronomy. Ariane, I know you already got it. I'm just saying. Get that, do one in Deuteronomy, but go to yeah, you're gonna go to Isaiah 11:11, and then why he get the other one in Deuteronomy. Go ahead.
Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass that in that day that the Lord shall set his hand against the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria.
Right. So the prophecy says that we were going to be left from where?
Assyria.
Right. So he's going to gather in the last days. he's going to gather Israelites that are left where?
From Assyria.
So we have Israelites where?
In Assyria.
There it is. These are the prophecies. This is the Most High telling us what might happen. Right. Hold that. You have the one in Deuteronomy?
No, that's what I'm looking for right now.
Go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And
You can do 37. You start at verse 37.
is that our point, bro?
This should become an astonishment of Proverbs. Wherever the Lord shall lead thee. Oh, verse 64.
There you go.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 64.
There you go, bro.
Done.
Go ahead.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
And he shall do what?
Scatter thee among all people.
He shall do what?
Scatter thee among all people.
Right. So the Most High was going to scatter Israel among all people. So we're just answering a question online. And the brother's asking, what is he asking again, sis? What is the question
Is
again?
there Israelites in other parts of the world other than that shown on the 12 tribes chart?
Right. Is there Israelites in other parts of the world? No doubt. And this is what, when we come to terms with that and we understand that Israelites are scattered everywhere, then we can really understand that we got a big job to do. But also, that's why you can't discriminate based on color or based on how the facial features. You know what I mean? Yes, we're here to teach our people, but at the same time, you can't just judge somebody by their looks. You have to talk to them. A lot of these people might look like other nations, but they might be Israelites. And we did a whole show over that on YouTube. We could throw that up there also. But this was the curse that was going to happen. We were going to be scattered amongst all nations. Then you have another thing. You got these inbreds, the inbreds, right? You got the inbred children. Black folks sleeping with white women. You got black men sleeping with Chinese women and all the other nations. And these kids coming out looking what? Some of them, they're undistinctable. You might think that they're, white. They might be Israelites. Father might be Negro or Hispanic or Haitian or Dominican. You understand? So you have that. So we got to be real careful and strategic and knowing that we don't get all crazy. If your lips ain't big enough, your nose ain't wide enough, your hair ain't nappy enough, you ain't eating too much fried chicken, you ain't got enough watermelon in your house, then you're not a real Jew, brother. Where's the watermelon at? That's not going to deter. I'm just being funny though. No. Yeah. Oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah, exactly. So it's not really necessarily about how you look. It's about you being from the nation of Israel. So the prophecies that he was going to scatter us amongst all nations. Go ahead.
Among all people. From the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Yeah, I mean, is that not self-explanatory? Is that not simple to be understood that the Israelites were going to be scattered amongst all nations? You got all of our people all around the world. I was just watching Miss Universe the other day, and they had that dark-skinned Chinese girl over there. No, her, but there was another one. Whether she was from Japan, I think she might have been from Japan. She looked like a black woman. You remember her, right? Yeah, yeah, she was. Well, you have to suck your lips when you do that. Yeah, she was Israelite. No, but serious. No, that's the truth though. Our people are scattered everywhere. So to get caught up on their facial appearance is stupid. That's why it says Christ didn't judge by sight. Yes, we're here to teach our people, raise our people up. But, I say it all the time. How about if you came in, you might look Negro, right? You might look Hispanic. But then you say, well, I don't know what my father is. I was adopted. What do I do now? What are we going to do? Oh, no, you can't come in, brother. You know what I mean? We don't know what you don't know what you are. So what do we have to do? What do we have to do then? And this is the easy way out. I said they look like an Israelite, right? That's the easy way. How about if they don't look like an Israelite, but say, well, I heard my dad was black. I heard he was Hispanic. How do you judge? Right? See, these are the things that brothers and sisters don't think about when you're just real judgmental on sight. You know, I've traveled around a little bit, not out of the country yet, but I've traveled around a lot of states, and you know, you got our people so dang mixed up, man. You know, so mixed up amongst all nations, trying to be like, walk like, act like, sound like all the nations. You know, so you don't necessarily know, but you will know by the Spirit. If they come in and they say they're Israelite, we've had that. Brother come in, I'm an Israelite, you know what I mean, but doing works of a heathen. Right? So you got to judge by the Spirit. You know, when it comes to those obvious, those unobvious instances that, you know, always ain't like, oh yeah, you're a Hebrew Israelite, my father's black, my black, blah, 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 my daddy's Native American, all the way back to this. That's obvious. You know, okay, you're a Hebrew Israelite. Your ancestors go back, right? But what about the unobvious, right? So go ahead and finish Deuteronomy real quick.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Yeah, all the way to the extent that we follow all these other nations and all their other ideals, right? So jump back to Isaiah 11:11, and then we'll go to Amos 9, Amos 9 and 9. Read that, Isaiah 11:11.
Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass that in that day that the Lord shall set his hand.
No, listen. This is all Israelites. So this ain't only talking about the tribe of Judah. This is all Israelites. All the 12 tribes are scattered everywhere. We're scattered all around. So no, it's just not talking about Judah. Read Isaiah 11:11 again. This is going to make it simple for you. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that in that day that the Lord shall set his hand against the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
Right. Of what?
The remnant of his people.
Of all his people. Of all his people. It's not just the tribe of Judah. The remnant of us Israelites are scattered everywhere. We're everywhere, man. Like I already told y'all the story. I walked over in San Antonio, and there's a brother out there. I mean, he looks straight white. But this guy is showing his birth certificate. And he could be lying. All we know, right? But what do? You're going to sit there and argue out him because how his facial features look? But he says his father is Gad, is Native American. You know what I mean? His father showed his birth certificate, Israelite. But his mom is Esau. What do? That happens. You know what I mean? You got these kids coming out with facial features like white people. You know what I mean? And you don't, and then you reject them. They Israel, and we don't supposed to do that. So no, it's all the tribes from Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Panamanians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, North American Indians, Seminole Indians, the people from Argentina to Chile, Colombia to Uruguay, you know, and the Mexicans of Negro to Indian descent. We're scattered everywhere. The conquistadors conquered all of us that speak, brothers and sisters that speak Spanish, right? Conquered them. Now you got a lot of our people looking like white people. It's just like that. Then even so-called Negroes. Let's go to the so-called Negroes. You got a lot of them looking like Africans. I'm sorry. But it's true. You got a lot of people don't hit that one, huh? They look like Hamites. But you don't say nothing when they look like Africans. Why? Because they're dark skinned? Nah, man. They might be Africans. Right? Go ahead. Read.
What shall be left?
I'm the only one that enjoys it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What shall be left from Assyria?
Right. So our people are in Assyria. Go ahead.
And from Egypt.
So our people are going to call themselves what? Egyptians. Because whatever time period, whatever slavery and captivity our people are scattered in Egypt. And a lot of those people over there, you talk to High Priest Shishai, he'll tell you, they'll tell you straight out, no, I'm not Egyptian, don't call me that. They'll tell you, I'm from this tribe. You know what I mean? They know who they are. So in these cases, the Most High is showing us our people are scattered all over. Go ahead.
And from Pathros.
And from Pathros, where was Pathros at? I think we looked that up. I gotta write this. No, not Pathros. We can look it up again. Look up Pathros as we go along. I think they were no, it wasn't China. It was no, it wasn't it wasn't it was like somewhere in I thought it was like somewhere in Africa. I thought, I could be wrong, but check it. Go ahead and read on.
And from Cush, and from Elam.
Right, so Cush, right, oh, Pathros is Egypt.
It's a part of Egypt.
As a part of Egypt. So once again, our people are calling themselves Egyptians. And not the so-called Negro running around wanting to be Egyptians. These are literally our people over there, have grown up in that land, and time after time, you know, they think they're Egyptians. Just like you think you're what? Afro-American. American. You understand? Nubian. You think you're of these things, but you're not, right? You're or Hispanic, Mexican, Puerto Rican. You're none of these things, right? Go ahead.
Cush.
Right. Cush are the Ethiopians, right?
That just means black.
Yeah. Yeah, right. But still, we're talking about the nationality, the nation of Cush, which is Hamitic. A lot of our people over there with those big ass heads. Like, yeah. Excuse my language. Right? A lot of our people over there with those big heads had babies with a Cushite, and those kids look what? They look like The Weeknd, right? You know, he's Ethiopian. The Weeknd is Ethiopian. Yeah, he's a Cushite, right? Go ahead. What else?
And from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath.
I'm sorry, I missed one. You said from where?
Elam.
Right, Elam. Elam are the East Indians. How about that? So you're going to have your people walking around serving Buddha and calling themselves East Indian. So our people are scattered everywhere. That's why you can't just judge by, oh, you talk like this, you sound like this, you look like that. You see how when you read this scripture, it gets a little more in depth? You can't just judge by sight. Go ahead.
And Shinar.
And what?
Shinar.
Shinar is Babylon. Shinar is Babylon. So over there in Iraq, you're going to have our people calling themselves what? Iraqis. But guess what? They're Israelites. And a lot of these people, man, you know what they do? They log in. They log in online to all the Israelite brothers in America and get taught. And their spirit agrees with it. They're like, we get a lot of people. But Thalawam always tell me, we got people out in China. We got people all just like, because you can go ahead and go to your YouTube link and kind of get where people are from when you go live, or when they look at your videos, or when they email you. You know what I mean? We get a lot of people from other countries, man, that say, yeah, I watch you all the time.
We got a brother in London right now.
Yeah.
Ireland too.
Yeah. London and Ireland, that's beautiful. Right? So you're going to get that, but like I said, it gets more crazy when you get in Iraq, when you get in the East Indians, and you get over there and wow. You got to think about that. Our people over there, Israelites, that's deep. Go ahead.
And from Hamath.
And from Hamath, what was Hamath again? So Pathros was what again?
That's the upper Syria. Pathros was Egypt.
Pathros was Egypt. Right? So where's Hamath at?
Hamath is this is saying it's in Upper Syria. So the principal city of Upper Syria in the valley of the Orontes.
So Syrians. You got our people calling themselves Syrians. Hamath, right? Go ahead.
And from the islands of
the islands of the sea. So a lot of our people, you know, obviously we know the islanders, the Israelite islanders, right? They're Israelites, but you got a lot of people that are, what about the Eskimos that are the sons of Japheth? Right? You got a lot of them. Our people scattered over there. Why? Because, well, listen, when we ran in 70 AD, running from the Romans, according to Luke 21, Christ prophesied that we were going to run down into the mountains, right? When you go to the Babylon, the Timbuktu, we know we ran into Africa because where did the black man get picked up from? Where did the Jews get picked up from? Africa. Don't you know we lived, what was it, 1,500 years with the Africans? 1,500 years with the Africans. Right? That's where the slave trade came from, right? So then what happened when the black man was over there? They was getting African women. And they was laying with these African women and having mixed kids. It's been going on since Moses told us not to do it. We've been doing it. All right? So go ahead and read on.
Verse 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nation.
Right. The ensign is the sign that it's our return or that we're coming back is the chariots of the Most High. That's going to be the sign. When you see the chariots of God flying, you're going to know it's your time. It's time to come back. Go ahead.
And shall assemble the outcast of Israel.
Right. Read.
And gather together the depressed of Judah.
The dispersed.
The dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Right. So that shows you right there, brother. It's pointing out Israel and Judah. It's putting them all together. So the whole nation is scattered to in the four corners of the earth. Okay? Go to Amos 99. Amos 9, verse 9, and then we're...
Amos chapter 9, verse 9. Amos chapter 9 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel.
Right.
Among all nations.
Right.
Like as corn is sifted in the sheaf.
So we're amongst all nations. You understand that? We are amongst all nations. I will sift the house of Israel from amongst all nations. Y'all get that? So we have to understand that. Go ahead.
Like as corn is sifted in a seed.
Uh-huh.
Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
Right, because the Most High is going to get us from all these nations. Now we understand a little better why Christ said, now I want you to go to all nations, kindreds and tongues. Why? Because Israel had to get the word. Yes, and the nations had to get it too. They're hearing it right now. Right now, as we're teaching you, you got a lot of heathens that'll click on, that'll watch, and get taught. Right? They're hearing it too. They're knowing the word too. They're knowing the truth too. And a lot of them are teaching the truth. Can't help that either. We might know that they weren't ordained, right? But they still doing it. Right? Yeah.
So there is no such thing as a mixed child. That father, the child is whatever that father is.
No, Israel, you know, going back to this Mamzar theme. Yeah, that Thahawon was talking about, that we were all talking about. The Mamzar was what was it again? It was a mixed child, but it was mostly an incest child. Right. You know what I mean? That's what Israel came up with. You know, but at the same time, when you deal with it technically, we know that the seed is of the man. Right. So there is no such thing as really a mix. Right. Because the seed is of the man. Right. Yes, the seed, the vitality, the characteristics, the strength is lessened, but that spirit in that individual is still the spirit of the Israelite. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I got something on that too, man. But we don't have to go into all that.
Kind of in Numbers, where it talks about the pedigrees.
Number them by their pedigrees.
About the father.
I mean, you can pull that. You can go ahead and pull that one.
This is Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names for 20 years old and upward by their polls.
Right. So where's that at?
This is Numbers chapter 1, verse 18.
Numbers 1, verse 18. And that's how we always determine. It wasn't that the Bible don't like women. When it mentions the men, it was just showing you that these men, Abraham didn't have Isaac and Isaac didn't have Jacob, technically. But yet they did, because it came from the semen. But you always hear that. Abraham had Isaac, Isaac had Jacob. Jacob had the 12 tribes. They didn't have those kids. Women had those kids. Right? But the pedigree, their nationality was determined by the man. Okay? So that's why you will see that all through the Bible. Okay? All right. Do y'all have any other, does anybody have any other questions? This is buffering a lot. Is it my phone? Did you make sure you put the delay, the 30? Okay. All right. Then it might just be my phone. Why you got the intro on? Oh, no. I'm sorry. My phone is just being tapped by somebody. It's going crazy over here. Okay. All right. Do y'all have any other questions? We got another one? All right. We'll answer a few more just to about 10, 15. What do we got? Why did the 10 tribes that come over here to America after the Babylonian captivity have different features than the kingdom of Judah? Why do they have different features? Because that's the Most High, how he called us a peculiar people. You know what I mean? He called us a peculiar people, man. The Most High wanted us to be different and beautiful in features and looks. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. But I'll put it like this. When you go to a supermarket, you know what I mean? Everybody likes oranges. Who likes oranges? Well, except for Lakama and probably Quartzazat. You guys are weird like that. You don't like oranges. Okay, anyway, for regular human beings that like fruit, I'm messing with them. But if you go to the supermarket, your refrigerator ain't gonna be just full of one type of fruit, right? Or is it gonna be of all the peculiar tastes that the Most High gave to us? Right? That's how the Most High is. That's how he made man. You know what I mean? You want the apple, you get the orange, you get the banana. That's the beauty of Israel. The difference.
Different flavor.
The different flavor. You know what I mean? The Most High said we're the salt of the earth. You know, but biblically, you're not going to read why does the so-called Negro hair is different from the Native Americans, or the Native American is different from the. Listen, when you go back to Judah, Benjamin, when you go back to the fathers of the 12 tribes, right? Jacob had how many wives? Huh?
Yeah, 4.
He had 4 women, right? And 2 of them were what? Huh? They were concubines, right? They were women of other nations, right? So think about it. If you as a black man slept with a Egyptian woman, how's those children going to come out? They're going to have a little of the features. So it's self-explanatory why we have different features. We were born that way. You know what I mean? The Egyptians, yeah, they got froze, and they probably got somewhat of nappy hair, but they're still different in characteristics, right? So, you know, when we look at all the tribes, you have to take that in count. into account that we were born by other nations, the women. A lot of people don't think about that, right? What 4 children came from them? Who knows that? What 4 children came from them? We got a sharp gunner over here. She's naming them. What about y'all scholars in here? Who knows?
You said, what was the question?
Okay, we had 2 women that were concubines that bore children of Israel, that bore 2 of the tribes. Well, actually, I think it was 4. Was it 4? Or am I tripping?
Benjamin.
It's I'm not saying we have to look for it now. I'm saying think about it, look at it. But when you look at it, the thing is this: that Israelites were born by women of other nations. Y'all see that? A lot of y'all people don't think about that. We're not all going to look alike. Yeah.
This is Genesis chapter 35 and verse 22. If I'm not mistaken. When Israel dwelt in the land, that Rebekah went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. The sons of Leah, Rebekah's, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun.
That was from Leah.
Yes.
So from Leah you had what?
You had Reuben. Jacob's firstborn.
Right.
Simeon.
Right.
Levi, and Judah.
Okay, that's from Leah.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, Issachar and Zebulun.
Right.
Go ahead.
The sons of Rachel. Joseph. And Benjamin. And the sons of Bilhah.
See,
Rachel
so
and
Bilhah was a concubine. She was a heathen. Ooh, you mixed with a heathen. No, you're not. Because all she did was bring features. You know what I mean? Listen, scientists will tell you that right now. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna tell you that the nationality is determined by a man. But from the woman, you get the features, you get attributes. But we know that the sperm, you know, when they show you in school the little sperm swimming and trying to get to the egg, right? That comes from the man. The woman has the egg, and yes, that sperm has to enter that egg, but the sperm is already that spirit. It's already that life entering to be nourished. And out of all those sperms, only one can make it, right? That's from that man. So don't get all upset. What tribes came from Bilhah?
Dan and Naphtali.
So if you're Naphtali, don't get all upset. You know what I mean? Because your mother was a concubine. It's okay. Your father was a prince. He was a king. Go ahead.
And the sons of Zilpah. Leah's handmaid.
Right.
Gad and Asher.
So Gad and Asher. Y'all see that? So, just to answer this question, why don't we look similar? Besides that, let's be real. If you Gad and Asher, the long hair, the what we call Native American features, right? Yeah.
I was gonna say.
See, but a lot of those Colombians, let me tell you, been raped by Esau. You know what I mean? Like you could tell because the Colombians are they not Aztec, they're Mayans. Incas. You're probably right. Incas. So think about it. Go back to the Incas and look at the Incas. That's how we supposedly looked before we got raped. By the Spanish. So yeah, yeah.
I was just looking at a post that Kyle Cobb sent out, and he was showing the original Indians.
Right.
And then he took pictures of celebrities and stuck them next to each other. And you can see the similarities in
Right.
our people. So you can tell the original so-called Indians were dark skinned.
Yeah, yeah.
Their hair was just out there, man.
Yeah.
They had afros. They had beards that were bushy.
Yeah.
There were certain characteristics that showed that was
Yep.
that in them.
Yeah, that new, I told you about this the other day, that new movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. It's called The Revenant. The Revenant? It's a new one, but he calls them tree niggers. That's what he called it. That's what they say in the movie.
Yeah.
They call the Native Americans tree niggers.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They man. Oh, and don't go see that Hateful Eight, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Hateful against Negroes.
Yeah. I seen it.
All through the movie. This guy, what's his name? Quentin Tarantino. He's a demon, man. He's a racist demon. All through the movie, just nigga. Like, wasn't that in your last movie?
One of the last one.
Oh, it's bad, bro. I was sitting there, I was like, they're not gonna stop this, huh? He was running with it the whole time. I was like, this is disgraceful.
And then the nigga in the movie had homosexual tendencies.
Okay.
With Esau, remember? When he had the guy in the chair, he was telling him how he did his son. He said,
Oh, right. Oh, man. Yeah, anyway, let's move on past this. I forgot about that. All right. So hopefully we answered that question, brother. That was Genesis what?
That's Genesis chapter 35, and you can start at verse 22.
Genesis 35, verse 22, just showing that, you know, as far as characteristics and what we look like, remember, you have to remember some tribes came from handmaids.
All the way to 26.
What I was going to say before we start talking about that was that even if you have children, like if you look at the older you get and you start to have children, right? Those children come out less of a lesser stature.
Pedigree ain't as deep.
It ain't as strong. And that's in your line the older you get. That's anybody. So even taking that into account, you know, so those are the things you got to think about when you ask that question to yourself. Okay, listen. Did y'all have any questions in here? Okay, we're gonna go ahead into this. This is kind of a question that we went over. Kind of a question we went over. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Genesis 11:12 seems to suggest that Noah's Ark landed east of Shinar. Does this live with the scripture? That might be a typo, but yeah. Oh man, Noah's Ark. It tells you Noah's Ark landed in Turkey. I think it was. It was Turkey. Right? So it's definitely not by Babylon or Shinar. But when you go into the Josephus, it goes into that also about where it landed.
Turkey is connected to Babylon, right?
Turkey?
Yeah. Connected to that, right? Don't they have borders?
Do they?
Yeah, they share a border, yeah.
Okay. I mean, let's check it. Let's look at it. You might be right. So you're saying it's close to there?
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, I never went into where the ark landed. All I knew it was in Turkey. You know what I mean? So yeah, check it on the map. Somebody check it real quick. Make sure he's right before we speak on it. Yeah.
Turkey borders Syria and Iraq.
Okay. So there you go. So Turkey borders Syria and Iraq. Syria, right? Syria and Iraq. I was gonna get it over here in the Josephus too. I had it too. I went over there. You said what? I think Turkey is alive.
That's what it said.
I mean, okay. I mean, to me, that's not even of any importance. But from what I remember, it could have been further in Babylon. I mean, whoever says they know where it specifically landed, you know, like the actual place. Nah, we don't know the actual place, but I was trying to get this in the Josephus, man. Let me find it. I thought I had that noted, man. Oh, yeah, here we go. Where did yeah, here, after the ark rested on top of the mountain in Armenia.
Genesis 8:4.
Read it in Genesis. But in here, Josephus says it rested after this, the ark rested on the top. This is book 1, chapter 3, the 5th verse in the Josephus. All right, after this, we're going to go ahead and go into this class.
This is Genesis 8 and verse 4.
Go ahead, read that.
Genesis 8:4. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. A-R-A-R-A-T.
Mm-hmm.
Ararat.
Ararat. Okay.
I looked that up.
It's in the mountain, Turkey.
Right, in Turkey. So it's saying it's in Turkey. Yeah, it says Ararat. So that's in Turkey. The mountains in Turkey. I mean, that's what the scripture says. Then that's what's going to be, right? That's it. All right, so any other questions real quick?
This is Genesis 8 and verse 4.
Because I wanted to see the difference. All right, so let's go into tonight's class, man. Well, like I said, it was a question. I want to touch on this question. Go to Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 and 3. And a brother had texted me this and said, could we touch on it, go over it?
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 3. Give not thy strength unto a woman.
Read it one more time.
Proverbs 31:3. Give not thy strength unto a woman.
Right. So he wanted to understand basically what does that mean. So we're going to go to First Esdras 4 verse 13. Give not thy strength unto a woman. The first thing we have to understand is this, that what we have as women now and what women came to be is not what women really is. I don't know if y'all understand that. Like they're a product, we are all a product of our environment. You're a product of America. Right? So when it says, give not thy strength unto woman, remember, we're dealing with a woman outside of the knowledge. Because a woman inside the knowledge understands from this perspective. So a woman, when it says, give not thy strength unto a woman, yes, it's speaking in general to all women. But at the same time, a woman of the knowledge wouldn't want you to bow to her. You understand? She understands this. Go to Corinthians 11:1. Go to 1 Corinthians 11:1.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1.
1 Corinthians 11:1.
Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brother, that you remember me in all things.
Right.
And that you keep the ordinances.
You keep the what?
Ordinances.
So this ordinance that Paul is reiterating, he says, you know what? I haven't seen you in class before, sis. That sister right there. Have you been here before? Yeah. Okay. Did you have any questions? I'm sorry. I should have asked you. You good? All right. I didn't even snap to it. But if you got any questions at any time, sis, just raise your hand. Feel free to ask. All right. All right. All right. Go ahead and read that again.
I praise you, brother, that you remember me in all things, and that you keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
Right. So this is an order that Paul, remember, he got from the scriptures. Go ahead.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right. We're coming back to our order. The man needs to come back to his true head. So our head is who?
Christ.
Rims.
Christ.
Money.
Christ.
Weed.
Christ.
Women.
Christ.
Right. Now, we went over this, touched on it a little bit the other day. It says, these virgins were dressed in white robes, and it says they weren't defiled by women, right? We read that in Revelations. Y'all remember that? Okay. So, this is what it's saying, is that these men, they're not, the righteous men aren't going to give their mind over to a woman. Because that's not the way the Most High ordained it. Right. That's not, if I'm all googly eyes, how am I going to run? Who's watching, what is it?
Pepe Le Pew.
No, what Olivia Pope.
Oh, okay.
What is it? Scandal. Who watched Scandal before? Raise your hand. Don't be trying to lie. Okay, you watch Scandal. What happens when he's all googly-eyed, the president of Olivia Pope? He does everything wrong. He's distracted. Right? This guy's all messed up, man. He doesn't even know how to deal with everybody around him. Why?
He's given her his strength.
There you go. His strength. What does it mean by strength?
Attention.
Huh?
Attention.
Yeah, it's more than that, bro. It's a little deeper than that. We're going to go into it, but I just want to see if y'all know. Yeah. Sister in the back, I can't see that, raising their hand.
Is it what makes him the man, the head, the leader, what a man's attributes are?
That's good. Yeah, you hit it right on it. It's and what she's saying is it what makes him the leader? Yes. Is what makes him the head, the guidance, right? He loses that.
His integrity.
He loses his integrity, right? What?
I was going to say his purpose.
Right, he loses his purpose, right? He loses his focus, right? Because he's googly-eyed for her. So when it says, give not thy strength to a woman, what are you giving to her? You're everything.
The message.
You're falling in love. You're not loving. You're falling in love. Now, don't look at me like, well, wait a minute, brother. You're supposed to love your wives. You're supposed to love your wives as your own flesh, right? But are you supposed to fall in love with your wife? Like every day you wake up, you're thinking of her. Every day you wake up, like the first thing that comes into your mind is her. No. The first thing that's supposed to come into your mind is the Creator, is the Most High. Just like the first thing that's not supposed to come in your mind is money. I wake up today and what you got to get? I got to get that paper, dog. Right? My rims. Or what? Let me roll one up. The only way I make it today, right? That's you giving your strength to what? Money, cars, clothes, right? That's what they believe, right? Who's seen that Chirac yet? Okay, you seen the Chirac. You got to watch Chirac. Because she tells you in there. She asks you, well, what is the black man's mind on? And the black woman, she said, money. Then she said, clothes. And then she says, all this, right? Why? Because that's the truth. That's why the black man is gone. That's why he's lost his strength, his power. Because everything he's chasing is to impress the woman. They forgot this order. Read it again.
This is 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3.
Is this First Kazakia?
1 Corinthians.
No. First Tahawan.
1 Corinthians.
First Rayon?
1 Corinthians.
Okay, so the Most High is establishing the order. Okay, just to bring that back in your mind, because I start talking and you guys start taking what I'm saying personal. Because it is personal, because the way I word it so it's like a sword in your brain. But the scripture still stands, whatever the way you want to bring it out. You can say it nicely, softly, you sweetly, loudly. The point is this. This is the order. Go ahead.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Our head is Christ. We've left our head. We chase everything instead of the Most High. We don't wake up and think about the Most High. We don't wake up and think about Christ. We don't wake up and think about our nation. We wake up thinking about booty, money, drugs, whatever else. Right? Huh? What?
I was going to say, that's why the first thing you don't do is set up prayers.
Yeah, there you go. You ask how many brothers in here, like, do you wake up in the morning and set up prayer? No. Sisters, do you wake up and set up prayer? No. First thing you do is go up, I got to get to work, got to get your coffee, got to get this, right? You on the white man's schedule, you on America's schedule, instead of the Most High schedule. So this is what the scripture is coming back and telling us not to do. Don't give your strength, your mind, your all over to a woman. But in essence, really, you don't supposed to do it for anything. Right. So don't take it personal. You know what I mean? When they read that scripture, they take it personal. What he's not supposed to love me? Yes, he's supposed to love you as his own flesh, right? But he is not supposed to put you up on a pedestal before the Most High. Right. He's not supposed to be googly-eyed thinking all day about you.
I have a question. Can I go both ways too, for a woman to a man?
No. She's supposed to. Okay. We're going to read on. Yeah, she's supposed to. Read on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the what?
Head of the woman is the man.
No, wait a minute. The head of the woman is what?
And the head of the woman is man.
Okay, is this, you reading out of Kazakia 1:1?
This is 1 Corinthians.
Okay, what did he say? Because I'm adding the theatrics behind it, but what did he say?
And the head of the woman is the man.
Who's the head of the man? Of the head of the woman?
Man.
The man. All right, this ain't turned into a woman's class, but y'all got to turn it into that. So I'm going to have to, I'm trying to skip past that. Y'all making it hard on me. What?
I think what he meant was we're not supposed to wake up thinking about a man. He's not supposed to be on our mind all the time, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Your husband, you're supposed to learn how to please your husband. Go to 1 Peter's. See, they turned it into a woman's class, and I want to skip past that point. Go to 1 Peter's 3.
1 Peter chapter 3.
Let me show y'all something.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1.
And I'm going to put it in perspective for you also.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband.
Go ahead.
That if any obey not the word, they also may be without the word be won by the conversation of wives.
Go ahead.
While they behold your chaste conversation, coupled with fear.
Go ahead.
Whose adorning, let it be that.
Hold on. Let me get to the point. Let me get it. Is it? No. No, let me get the point. Hold on, let me get there. No. What was it? Ephesians. Hold on. Hold on. There you go. There you go.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah. Read.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband, as unto the Lord.
Wait a minute. Read it one more time for him. Let it sink in.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22.
Wives,
submit yourselves unto your own husband.
You see how I'm just having to read it? Because why? I'm going to let it sink in your own head without any explanation. Oh, read it one more time. They ain't get it yet.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband.
As unto who?
As unto the Lord.
As unto who?
As unto the Lord.
So you would deal with your husband as unto who?
The Lord.
You would submit unto your husband as you were submitting to who?
The Lord.
That's what the Bible says. So yeah, you're supposed to, when you wake up, now putting it in perspective, your mind towards the Most High is making sure your husband is happy. There you go. A little bit easier. Your mind towards the Most High, when you wake up, your mind's supposed to be, if I please my husband, that's pleasing to the Lord. Okay, read it one more time. I didn't get it. I still see the eyebrows like, that's there? That's really there?
For real though?
Go ahead, read it one more time.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband. As unto the Lord.
Right, as unto the Lord. Now, it goes down. For the husband is the head of the church. For the husband is the head of the wife.
Even as Christ is the head of the church.
Right, read.
And he is the savior of the body.
So, what is the husband? He's the what?
The head of the wife.
Right. But it's going down and telling you like Christ is the head of the church. So, he's your head. Now we're understanding what Paul said in 1 Corinthians 11. Right? He's the head because he's the savior of who?
Of his wife.
Of his wife. The way he can save you is by teaching and dealing with you right. That's what he's supposed to do. Now, there's not a lot of husbands out there. There's a lot of niggas. There's a lot of the one-night stands. There's a lot of like, booty calls. But there's not a lot of husbands. A husband is someone that will teach you and treat you like Christ treat the church. That's not talking about sexual relations. You know what I mean? Paying your bills. That's talking about teaching you and teaching you the right thing. It's not about just physical. Y'all get that? That's obvious, right? Go ahead.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ,
go ahead.
So let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Right. So you see that a lot in the scriptures. Own. Why? Because if you're not subject to your own husbands, you might be subject to Oprah. Well, Oprah said, she said he's going like this. Well, grandma said she need to do this. I need to deal like this with my man. That's not your own husband. Subject to your own husband is, if your husband likes it that way, that's what you're subject to. Right? Okay.
Tweet, tweet.
You hear the crickets?
I don't think
Right?
I don't think you got it.
Can I get a con? All right. So go back, and then it goes down. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. So it don't mean that you know why, like, you get sisters start crossing their arms and like, I ain't subject to nobody. Why? Because that's the white man up here, bum, controlling your brain and saying, listen, black, listen, let me put it in other words. The white man controlled you and destroyed the black families and households by giving you this so-called independent mind state. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get that. But you tell me straight out to be subject. I ain't with that. You're going to be subject. That's what Christ is bringing us all back to. We're going to be subject to Christ, not money, hoes, and clothes. And you're going to be subject to your family, your household, and your children. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. See, but the thing is that when you get in the moment, you can't fathom following. Y'all making this a woman class. This ain't even about a woman class. It was the answer to the brother's question. You're making it a problem following because the word subject means exactly that. Subject. It says, as unto the Lord. So if Jesus Christ came down in a white robe, get in line. Come. You're going to be like, I don't know what I'm in. But I got things to do. I got things to
Bobblehead.
Right? You going to do that? Or why it got to be your way? Because he said, subject to me. Now, once again, this has to be a righteous man.
Right.
So, see, trust me, I'm not saying go OG Mudbone, that's a killer and a drug dealer, and you go be subject to this nigga. No. And I mean that, and I'm not trying to divide, like, if you got an OG Mudbone at home. I'm trying to be politically correct. I'm not trying to divide your house because the nigga's reckless. What I'm trying to say is, we all got to come together in order. The husband got to get his head right. Because listen, we make the man accountable here. And here, in this school, we make the men accountable. But at the same time, the women have to be accountable too. You see these brothers? This brother's new. He came in, he gave up everything. Everything. Committed himself to the work of the Most High. He's accountable. He's not talking about it, he's being about it. You know what I mean? That's accountable, right? The same thing with the sisters. You have to be accountable for what we're doing. You understand? So this ain't about, oh, we're yeah, because we're men. Because that ain't gonna get us nowhere. We need the women. The women need us. Because we're one nation. You understand? But in that true love, there's order. Just like the kids need you. But could they run their mouth to you? Hell no, you slap the black off them, right? There's order. You're like, well, you don't love me because you're telling to clean my room. You're like, nigga, go give me the belt. That like psychological thing ain't gonna work. But that's how you do to your husband when it's like, well, you don't love me because you correct me and you tell me I'm wrong or off. Nah, that's more love. I could just do like we did in the world. Hit it and just, yeah, hey, yeah, you my booty call. Some of you would like that, wouldn't you? Some of you would rather have a man just be a booty call instead of respect you and teach you. That's the sad thing about it. You would rather not have a righteous man because you want to just be a booty call and you don't want to be subject. Go back to 1 Peter 3, verse 1, real quick, and then we're going to finish the brother's question. 1 Peter 3,
chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
So that's what it's about. It's subject to your own husbands. Ephesians 4:22, as unto the Lord. Go ahead.
That if any obey not the word.
So if you don't obey this word, if you say, yeah, no, go ahead.
They also may be without the word.
So without having this word in you, go ahead.
Be won by the conversation of wives.
You're going to be won by another woman conversation. What she's telling you to do as opposed to what Christ is telling you to do. Go ahead.
While they behold your chaste conversation.
Well, chaste means that there's supposed to be some character, humility, standard behind you. A chaste conversation, right? The way I talk and I come across. chaste, humble. Go ahead.
Coupled with fear.
Right, the fear towards the Most High. So hopefully that answered that question on that. Go back to 1 Corinthians 11:1. So, I mean, getting back to the point, we're understanding the order. The Most High doesn't want a man to be locked up into a woman, especially now. You understand? He's got to love his wife, respect his wife, his household, and his family. But listen, did not Jesus say, those that love, he said, those that have wives be as though they have none? Yeah. But does that mean treat them like crap? No, he's talking about where's your mind at. How about this one? If any man love father, mother, brother, sister more than me is not worthy of me. That's in the Bible, right? Yeah. Yes, it is. Right, but where's that one at? That was showing you conscience. That don't mean like you walk up to your mom, mama, you wicked, you nothing. It means that conscience-wise, when mom's telling me come over for Christmas, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I obey you in righteousness, but I don't obey you, and you try to lead me to wickedness. Right? That's what the scripture's saying. Whether it be mother, father, brother, sister, daddy, uncle, grandma, I don't obey that unless you're telling me something with wisdom. Or else I'm going to chalk it up like it is a TV show. Like, oh, yeah, okay, mom. All right, mama, yeah. All right, mama. I'll talk to you later now. Whatever you're saying, it ain't entering into me because it's madness, mama. Right. All right, I'll see you now. Because you're going to be won by the conversation of why. Yes, sis.
So, a man is not supposed to give his power to a woman and, just like following behind her like a duck.
Right.
But we're supposed to subject, a woman is supposed to be submissive to a righteous man.
Right.
So who are you following? Like, okay, if the man is our head,
Uh-huh.
are we obeying Christ? Are we obeying him? Like,
That's why I said, let me put it in perspective. When it said, as unto the Lord, meaning that for conscience, you're doing it towards the Most High. Your conscience is towards the Most High. Right, but you're serving your husband. You're serving Christ the Most High, but you're coming back and you're doing it through your actions to your husband. For instance, how does one show they love the Creator? How does a man show he loves the Most High? Keeping them in commandments. That's good, but that's basic. That's ordained to everybody. What?
You teach.
He's going to be a teacher. It says there is no greater thing than a man that he laid down his life for his brethren. We're all ordained to keep the commandments, but where's the love at? Where's the true love? We know the love of the Lord is to keep his commandments, and his commandments be not grievous, right? Well, how do you know you love Christ? You're going to do the works. He said, you do whatsoever I command you. This is the love. Right? So the man is supposed to wake up with his conscience towards the Most High in fulfilling his path as a leader, a teacher, a king. He's supposed to do that by raising up his nation, teaching his people. The woman is supposed to back her husband in that she's pleasing unto the Most High. Right? What is it? Timothy's? Go to let me see here. It's it might be First Timothy's.
1 Timothy 2 and 10.
Right, there you go. You're gonna read First Timothy 2, verse. It just jumps straight to the point. Well, we got to get some context, but we got to get some context, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's jump to verse 11.
Verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Let the woman learn in silence in all subjection.
You were right. 9. Read
verse 9.
Uh-huh.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety.
Right.
Not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array.
Right. So the woman is supposed to not be that outward appearance, putting pounds of makeup on her face and wearing 8-inch heels and with the slit upside to where you can see her panty line, right? We get that, right? She don't supposed to be walking around with trying to be Mrs. Flamboyant, right? Hey, why are here quickies in here? Sisters, right? Go ahead.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
But with becoming woman professing godliness.
So a real woman is a woman that has what?
Godliness.
That has what?
Godliness.
Right, read.
With good works.
With what?
Good works.
With what?
Good works.
So this woman's supposed to have good works. Go ahead.
Let the woman learn in silence.
Right.
With all subjection.
To who?
The Most High.
No, to her husband. She's supposed to learn in subjection to her husband. Watch, he's gonna come down and tell it again. Some of y'all must not have read. I see a lot of squinted up faces. Like, give me some toilet paper. We need some. I'm getting a lot of poo faces over here. Give me some toilet paper. We gotta start handing. I'm just messing with y'all. Go ahead, read. Go ahead.
Verse 12.
I'm trying to make y'all laugh. Y'all too serious now. You're like. Go ahead, read on.
But I suffered not a woman to teach.
Yeah, you know why? Because he's reminding us. He's going to remind us what happened. He said, it's not for you, a woman, to take that place. She's supposed to be in subjection to her husband. What did America do? You got the scripture?
Yeah,
What did America do? Let's find out.
Jeremiah 31 and 22.
Go to Jeremiah 31, verse 22. Let's understand, what did America do? Go to Jeremiah 31, verse 22.
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22.
Let's get some understanding why we're coming back and having to relearn this.
Jeremiah 31 and 22.
Go ahead.
How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
Right, so Israel, we backslide. We went out of the way. The Most High cursed us. Go ahead.
For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth.
Go ahead.
A woman shall compass a man.
Right, so the Most High created a new thing. Why? Because we were disobedient. Right? You understand that? So the woman is now over the man. They compass the man in all ways. Not just there's definitely more women than men, but they compass them in all ways. Right? So this is what happened. Now, I want you to, the one I was really looking for, that was good, but it's Isaiah 3 verse 12. Go to Isaiah 3 and 12, then we'll go back to Timothy's. We have to understand what's happened.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12.
We were punished. It tells you the whole earth is out of course. You understand that? It tells you in Psalms the whole earth is out of course. Everything has been turned back upside down. Your kids can call in and divorce you as a parent. How the hell could your kids divorce you? Because America gave them that power. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
What?
Children are their oppressors.
Well, who oppresses us? The skydiving, skateboard riding, mountain climbing,
rollerblade.
Right, rollerblade nation. This is a childish nation. Children rule over us, right? When you look at Esau, that's how he acts, like a big kid. Go ahead.
Children are their oppressors, and women rule over them.
And women do what?
Rule over them.
Right. So now, we get it? Why do we have to come back where Paul is reiterating to us the order of things? Go back. Let's jump back to 1 Timothy 2 and 11. Because we have to understand this. The Most High cursed us. Then he put over us a childish nation that put women over us. So what did they do? They gave you back in the days the women's rights. Y'all know the story, right? A lot of you think freedom of choice is about you. Don't you know that it was all started by a German Nazi that was set up for you to then kill your kids? When you talk about freedom of choice, what's her name? Margaret Singer or something like that? Planned Parenthood? Right, but what did they tell you? How did they get it out to you for you to say, yeah?
Pro-choice.
Yeah, I'm a woman. I got rights too. They told you pro-choice, but they disguised it under you having control. You understand? Or excuse me, you having freedom. Right? Then they gave you a pair of pants, and then you put them up. You got a zipper for what? You can't put nothing out of those pants. But they did it. Why? Because it puts you in a spirit. It puts you in that manly spirit. Then they said, okay, listen, I'm going to give you welfare, but the man cannot be around. He can't be around. And if he's around, I'm going to stop this check. By the way of, I'm giving you crack, heroin in the 70s, and I'm going to get all your communities caught up in that. So the man's coming home, beat up, heroin, drugs, gangs, right, whoring, right? And you're thinking about, damn, I got to feed the kids. The white man has looked out for me. Nigga, you haven't. Get out the house.
Why the kids are becoming feminine.
Right, the kid, we're going to that. But very good point. But all the community, the house, the nation has been destroyed. Strategically. Why? One, because we disobeyed the commandments of the Most High. So he put over us a childish nation that put the women up above the men. Every movie, every series tends to a woman. Every series, go through your Netflix. Every series is about it shows you how a woman. If not, they're doing the homosexual thing. Why? To break the man. So this is beyond your own little pride. This is beyond your little pride, your so-called pride, because really, you as a believer, as a true Christian, right, you're supposed to understand that this ain't about your ego or your pride. This ain't about us being men. We're no better than you, especially if we're not locked into this. We're no better. The Most High said he looks at your spirit. I'll say it and say it again. I'll give you the most stupid example. When you go to the corporation and you work for your boss, right, and he's the president, does he walk out and be like, you're crap because you're not the president? Or is just an office that you fulfill? Nobody does that. Nobody thinks like that. Wherever you work, right? Does the boss come out and say, man, you're trash? Why? Because you're not the president. Why does this come into play when it comes to the black man and the black woman and the Israelite man and Israelite woman having a unit, a body, a mind of order? Because psychologically, the white man put that there to keep us from unifying families. He keeps that individuality. Now, he gave you so much freedom that you feel like, damn, what you're doing is taking away my freedom. You're taking away my freedom when you're talking about subject. Well, guess what? The man got to be subject to the same thing with the brothers too. Well, brothers here, listen, you gotta put your spirit in. You can't just sit in class. You gotta come and learn how to lead and teach and raise your people up. They're like, you're trying to take my freedom. Yeah, Paul said you're a prisoner for Christ. No, nigga, I just want to work, believe in Jesus once a week, and I'm good. The men do it too. So this is nothing against the women. It's all of our people that been jacked the hell up. We've all been jacked up. We get brothers like that all the time. So, but this is the same thing with the women, and the Most High is trying to set the house, the nation, the brothers, the sisters in order. Okay, y'all got that? Huh? Go ahead, read where you at.
1 Timothy 2:11.
Go ahead.
But let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
No, she's supposed to be running her mouth, talking back to you, talking about, but see, you don't respect me. See, listen, see, that's what I'm saying. See, read it one more time.
Let the woman learn in silence.
Let her learn in what?
Silence.
What?
Silence.
But for her to do that, what does she have to do? Stop. She has to do what? What, Abadiah?
Humble herself.
She has to humble herself, but she has to do what before that? Before she humbles herself, what does she have to do? Come on, give it to me, sisters. Yeah.
She has to be taught to do this because the world.
Before she has to be taught, she has to do what?
Give herself to Christ.
She has to give herself to Christ. She has to what? The B word. She has to what? Yeah, because all this is nothing if you don't believe this. If you don't believe exactly what we're reading here, then when you read those words, subject, like, do I have to give you a deep breakdown when he said learning subjection? Do I have to like go to 7,500 scriptures to show you what that means? No. It means what it says, but you just don't like it because how it pierces your soul. How it pierces that pride. We can't let it do that. You got to let it enter in there and understand what the Most High wants from you. That's what he wants. He's not going to bring no disrespectful, disobedient, wild, niggerish man to the kingdom. And he's not going to bring no disrespectful, disobedient, whorish woman to the kingdom. It's all across the board. You're not special because you're short and cute.
Straight up.
Right? What's that, sis?
So I think that society has painted this picture of, I guess, what love is. Like you said, when a man gives a woman his power, he's all googly-eyed or whatever. And it
Right.
can be the same for a woman too, but I guess we're not supposed to be looking at y'all like that either. We're just supposed to be making sure you're straight, like, doing our work. Are we supposed to be looking at you?
Yes.
And we are.
Why? Yes, because who do you suppose? Dang, I got to go into all these scriptures?
No.
Go to Ecclesiastes. No, it's fine. It's fine, sis. It's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I just go to Ecclesiastes in your apocrypha. Yeah. Yes. Listen, how does a woman, when a man comes home from battle,
26 and 14.
when a man comes home from battle, when he comes home for war, what makes this woman the place, the house that she has built? What makes her that place that he wants to go? That's what he's supposed to be doing. That's what she's supposed to be doing. She's supposed to make that house a place to where this man can go to. Yeah, that's her mission, to please her husband. So she's supposed to be good. Listen. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing for no dude. She like, all right, Christ said it here, nigga. Here's your eggs. Subject. Just because Jesus said so. Stop it. You gotta have love. I'm gonna bring it back to the man. The men. Listen, because I like bringing it back to the men. Because we get so many weak-ass brothers in here. They come in, and it's like, listen, you all about money, clothes, this. But it's time for you to give yourself to Christ. And they're like, nah, man. I'd rather do this. I'd rather give my spirit to the world than the Most High. You got that same weak-ass spirit I'm in. That's why I said, y'all sisters take this personal because you have a man telling you, this ain't about me. This ain't about you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying the spirit behind it. You know what I mean? Yes, you're supposed to love what you do. A lot of brothers do that too. Like, well, I'm here. Why? Because the Most High commanded. And then they only here for a while. They don't last because they don't find the love in what they're doing for their nation, their people. So they just do it because they're commanded to. This reach further than the commandments. It's about what's in your heart, what you love, right? And that same love that when he made love to his boo all night and stayed up to 3, 4 in the morning, but when it's time for him to get scriptures to 3 or 4 in the morning, he's supposed to have that same passion for the knowledge. He don't. What? But he will go back and get high with his homies to 4 or 5 in the morning, then go to work. But tell him to commit himself to the work like that. Oh, y'all overbearing over there. Like, really? You gotta get, really? Like, y'all ain't asleep yet? No. We ain't asleep. Because when we was in the world, we was partying at 6, 7 in the morning with women and drugs and dope. And nobody said, oh, don't you gotta be at work in the morning? So we gave ourselves like that too. Men come here and do the same thing. Let's go back to the sisters. What is it,
26, 14?
I want to see where you started from. Let's see. Let me see where 26. Very good. Good.
All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Right?
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
So this woman the woman of the scriptures is able to listen and be subject to be instructed. Just like the man. A brother got to come in here and humble. Brothers ain't coming in here and just like, nigga, I don't listen to no man. Who are you? The one that's finna teach you how to be a man, how to pull up your pants, how to brush your teeth, how to wash your ass, right? We're the ones, right? The same thing for the woman, right? What does she not know how to do? How to be a woman. She don't know how to wash her ass, brush her teeth, take care of her body, her mind, and her spirit. We all need to be taught this all over again. This ain't nothing personal. See, we just have different office. We have different offices. We have different gifts. That's the thing. Go ahead, read.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
A shamefaced and faithful woman,
right,
is a double grace.
Right. So, no, it says, and there is nothing so much more as a mind well instructed. That's showing you that a woman that can be instructed and told. Why does this have to be taught? Because you've been stripped from what it is to be a woman. So now we need to be retaught again. Listen, this ain't for a loving and righteous woman. Like there are women that haven't slept around with 30 guys and been abused by all of them, that have a good demeanor about them, that can still love a man and give herself to that man as though he's new. But yes, our sisters been abused so much, it's hard for them to give themselves to another man. And then you talking about instruct. The last nigga, he took my check, he whipped my ass. He did it like, you talking about be humble? Like, so you look sideways. That's why we say what? Don't come in looking for a man. Come in looking for the spirit. Then the Most High will bless you with a man. And don't, when you find out you have to be subject, I don't want to be subject to no Israelite, man. Let me go get Tyrone again, because I like getting my ass whooped. I like somebody getting high with me and put it in whooping my ass. Right? Don't do that. Because I see sisters trying to do that. Like, I ain't going to get with these guys. They serious. They serious. I want somebody that's stupid and what I used to like. Why? Because order, discipline, respect. Nah, that's all that Christ wants. It is. He wants a woman well instructed. Right? We're going to go back to Timothy's because it gets on this point. But where's the other one?
36 and 36.
Is it 36?
Yeah.
Okay.
36,
jump to 36 and what?
Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 24.
Ecclesiastes 36 verse 24. Go ahead.
He that getteth the wife beginneth a possession.
He getteth a what?
A possession.
You are his what?
Possession.
You are his what?
Possession.
Why is that strange? Because America told you, Olivia Pope told you, I am not I don't supposed to be coming to your beck and call. I'm not going to be used. It's like, chick, you going to get in order, Olivia. Right? But listen, guess what? The men too.
Right.
That's why I went to Corinthians to show you is that we got our head up everything else instead of to the Creator. This is why Israel will consistently be cursed. Because the man doesn't know how to be a real man. You understand that? Like y'all, like every sister knows, he'll be ready to play video games and be up to 4 in the morning, then be studying to 4 in the morning, then be teaching you to 4 in the morning. Right? He can't handle life when it comes to the truth, right? When it comes to teaching you, right? But we try to make them accountable. See, these are all the things the man has to do. So nobody's getting away with it. But the woman, read it again.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
You are now his possession. You don't supposed to be, but cared for, like Christ said. Like Christ said. Like his own body. So you're his. You're one. You're two twined become one flesh, right? So he has to respect you in that. Go ahead.
A help like unto himself.
No, a help like what she want to do because the way you said to do it, she don't really do it that way because you know what I mean. Why got to be what you said? I don't want to do it that way. I want to make the eggs, the macaroni, the spaghetti. I want to do it the way I learned how to do it.
A help like unto himself.
A what?
A help like unto himself.
You're subject to him. That's what's pleasing to the Most High. It's hard to learn that after you sleep with so many guys. It's hard to know. It's hard to learn that. That's why now you'll teach your daughters to have one man. And to before she sleep with him, he gotta go through the hell yeah. You gotta treat your thing like it's the goal. Why? Because if not, if you don't know this guy, what all happened to you sisters? Huh? That you're okay, Sammy. She's like, well, I was with him since I was a virgin. Exactly. You will be with him till you die. Because why? You don't care about anything else but that. See, but all these other things have came into place in the woman's mind and defiled her mind and her body. So you can't understand this. And that's what the Most High is going to bring us back to. You think we're going to have whores in the kingdom of heaven? Men or women? Hell no, that's not going to be in the kingdom of heaven. Read.
A pillar of rest.
She's supposed to be, and this is the point where I went there. When you made the statement, you said, is she supposed to be googly-eyed? She's supposed to be a what?
A pillar of rest.
Do I want to come, and when I'm laying on a pillar, do I want it to be a thing of thorns? Get off me? Type of thing? Like, why? Get away, nigga. I'm only doing this because God commanded. No, you're going to do it with love. The scripture says, whatsoever you do, do it wholeheartedly unto the Lord and not to man, knowing who you shall receive your reward from, right? That's one of our favorite scriptures. Colossians 3, right? 3:22. You're supposed to do it unto the Most High. So yes, you're supposed to be googly-eyed. Why? Because you're supposed to be the comfort. You're supposed to be the comfort. You understand that? Do y'all understand that, sisters? Right. Yeah, what's up, Mark?
No, I actually, I went into what a pillar was according to the scriptures. And when you study what a pillar is, because the Most High said they're a pillar of rest. Well, everything is supported off pillars.
Right.
When you study the structure and the infrastructure of buildings, the strongest points of the house is the pillars. And Christ is the cornerstone. So our house is supposed to be manifested on Christ being the cornerstone, which is the first brick that supports the whole foundation. But the pillars are what keeps us up, because our work is so strenuous to our flesh and to our spirit. The last thing we're supposed to do is go home and be drained. That's our process of recharge. So that's why it says being subject to your husband, because you're supposed to know what he needs to recharge. So,
amen, brother. Amen. No, that's on point. That's on point. Yeah, but yeah, brothers want to laugh and shit.
It's real, man.
Brothers want to laugh until you tell them I'll be over here at this time. Oh, I'm busy. Okay, laugh, brothers. Laugh. Verse 22. Verse 22. Yeah, brothers want to laugh. Yeah, brother, yeah. Woo! Be like, I ain't seen you in how many months? Like, where you been? Go ahead, read. Go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't even know who clapped. I'm just saying. I didn't even know who clapped. I just heard it, and I was like, nah, I ain't going to hear that. Go ahead, read that. Verse 22.
What?
Ecclesiastes 36, verse 22.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 22. The beauty of the woman cheereth the countenance.
Yeah, so, listen. Does a woman supposed to be beautiful?
God.
Does she supposed to take care of her appearance?
God.
Yeah, but this is in the spirit more so. More. You understand? Go ahead.
And a man loveth nothing better.
Read.
If there be kindness.
So how is she a comfort? If there be what?
Kindness.
If she's supposed to be what?
Kind.
A brute animal.
Kind.
A dog.
Kind.
Someone that you got like a rattlesnake.
Kind.
Go ahead.
Meekness.
She should be what?
Meek.
So she should be kind and meek.
Go ahead.
And comfort.
And they're supposed to be a what?
Comfort.
She's supposed to be a what?
Comfort.
Go ahead.
In her tongue.
In her what?
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 In her tongue.
Go ahead.
Then it is not her husband. Then is not her husband like other men?
Right. You see that? So this is what the Most High is telling us about learning in silence. Jump back to Timothy's real quick. Go back to Timothy's 2, and we're going to go back to verse 11. I ain't even went over. I ain't even went over the scriptures. I was go to 1 Timothy 2 and 11.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 11.
Let the woman learn in silence. So that's what it means. It means that if I'm going to teach you, if you're going to respect me as your teacher, as a leader, then you have to be willing to hear. That's anybody, right? You got to be willing to hear because you don't know. So you have to respect that husband that will teach you. You understand? Go ahead.
With all subjection.
What do you got?
It says the description
what,
of
quietness?
Yes.
Wait, we're not going into that.
Okay.
We understand that.
God.
I don't want to waste my whole class. Yes, we're talking about women, but kind of not. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Verse 12. But I suffer not.
Are y'all cold at the school? Are y'all cold? Could y'all put the heat on for them? Go ahead, read on.
But I suffer not a woman to teach.
Right.
Nor to usurp authority over the man.
Right. Nor to usurp authority over the man. So once again, he's putting things in perspective that the woman is supposed to be subject. What does America do? They put the woman over the man and already usurp their authority. Right? Go ahead.
But to be in silence.
She's supposed to be what?
Be in silence.
Remember we just read it? She's ready to hear. She's ready to listen. Right? Why? Now, what was the point of me getting all this? Why? Why did she got to be refreshed? Why did she got to be reminded? Go ahead.
For Adam was firstborn, then Eve.
Read.
And Adam was not deceived.
Read it again.
And Adam was not deceived.
Why are we supposed to give our strip to the woman? Read it again.
And Adam was not deceived.
Because the woman, being the weaker vessel, was deceived. She was deceived. So, it's not, listen, are you supposed to listen to your kids? And be obedient to your kids? And when they tell you what to do, you be like, yeah, okay. Do you do that? That's just out of order. There's an order of things the Most High set up. Now he's telling us and refreshing our memory why. Because remember Eve, she went in and she let Satan influence her. America knows that, and America has set the woman against the man, the black woman against the man. That's what they did, because they know this. Go ahead. Who had the hand raised? Yeah.
I actually had the scripture, that scripture where you was talking about in Genesis 3 and 16 and 17.
Go ahead.
It goes with both points.
Mm-hmm.
This is Genesis chapter 3 and verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy concept in sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children, but thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Right. Now, why is this a reminder to the woman? Because it wasn't like that. What he just told Eve wasn't like that naturally. Why is it a rule now? What?
It's a rule now because of 2 Timothy chapter, what we just read, 2 and 13.
There you go. She was deceived. Now, you're going to have to go. At first, we were working together. It was one mind, a hive mind, unity, right? But now, it's like a rule because she was disobedient. She was disrespectful. She was out of order. So now we got to put things in order. That's what the Most High is doing. What?
And then verse 17 explains why.
Go ahead.
It says, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I had commanded.
So what did Adam do?
He hearkened unto the voice of his wife.
You see that? Adam listened to his wife. listening to that negative. That's why, what's the first thing I said? This is not to a righteous woman. Because a righteous woman already knows. I'm not going to try to pull this man's soul. Because his soul belongs to the Most High. His soul belongs to the Creator. Y'all understand that? Go back to Timothy's. 2 Timothy 2 verse 15.
2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15.
Go ahead.
Oh, actually finish 14.
Yeah.
And Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression.
Right.
Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing.
She's going to be saved in what?
Childbearing.
So how does a woman, in the Most High's eyes, how is he going to look at her and say she's going to be saved? Go ahead.
She shall be saved in childbearing.
So taking care of her children. Go ahead.
If they continue in faith.
But she also has to do what?
Continue in faith.
She has to believe. Go ahead.
And charity.
And what?
And
wait a minute. Because she can be good to her husband, but everybody else, they garbage.
And charity.
She can be good to her husband, but she don't got respect for her people or her nation.
And charity.
No, she still has to be charitable, man. She still has to be loving a believer, a true believer. Read.
And holiness.
And what?
Holiness.
She's supposed to be pure. Go ahead.
With sobriety.
With what?
Sobriety.
She has to be sober and aware she's doing it for the Creator. That's why the Most High is reestablishing the order. Because this is not what the order is. The woman is not sober. She's not aware. She's not subject. It's all out of order. It's chaotic. Yes, it's.
I wanted to know the scripture would go with that. It's 1 Corinthians 11, 8, 9.
Right, we're going to go back to 1 Corinthians. We're going to go back to 1 Corinthians. So let's go back to 1 Corinthians where we left off at. And it says sobriety. It says soundness of mind, self-control. Sobriety is soundness of mind, self-control. So this is what type of woman that the Most High is rebuilding. Y'all get that? Titus 2? Just hold that one. Let's jump back to Corinthians. I got a lot to bring out. Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11.
Verse where you leave off 2?
Verse 3.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right.
And the head of the woman is the man.
So that's why everything is now being reestablished. And until you get right with Christ, your woman ain't going to be right with you.
Right.
You want a good woman? Do right by Christ. Man, he says, if a man's ways please the Most High, he will even make his enemies be at peace with him. How much more your household? How much more your wife and your kids and your family? If you know how to please the Most High and do what he wants, he'll send you a good woman that's humble, that's meek, that's ready to learn. You understand that? Huh? Brothers?
Come on.
All right, so why did I go here from the beginning was to show when the scripture says in Proverbs 31:3, give not thy strength unto a woman, because the Most High didn't ordain for the man to give his mind over to a woman. You understand that? Now, you wanted to go into 89, you said? Oh, go ahead and jump to 89. Let's see what we got there.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man.
Right.
Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man.
Right. So y'all see that, right? In the beginning, what happened? The Most High said, listen, Adam, you're alone. Let me get you a good help. And he created Eve. You understand that? All right, so let's go to 1 Ezra 4, verse 13 really quick. And we're still talking about this, what does it mean for a man to not give his strength unto a woman, right? It's talking about this man's mind, his spirit, his all, his everything, right? A man don't supposed to do that. He's supposed to give that to the Creator. So you're going to go to 1 Ezra in your Apocrypha, the 4th chapter and the 13th verse.
This is 1 Ezra chapter 4, verse 13.
Right?
Then the third, who had spoken of women.
Right, now I'm going to bring you up to the story. These wise men were speaking a parable. And whoever could speak this parable to the king was going to basically, I think it was going to be free. So what happened was, this last man says, his account, what was the greatest? And that's what they all were going to talk about. What was the greatest, and what was the thing that was going to be the greatest above all, right? Now, the gist of it was the truth. But I want to show you one of these things that was supposed to be one of the greatest things that will have men bow, right? That will have men submit. So read that.
Again, this is 1 Ezra chapter 4, verse 13. Then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, began to speak. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine.
Right. So one said the king is the greatest. Another said wine is great. And this man says the woman. Right? Go ahead.
That excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them? Or hath the lordship over them?
Right.
Are they not women?
Right. And that's the thing. Why is it like that, though? Why is it that women rule now? Why? Because everything's been upside down. Everything's upside down. Everything is out of order, man. Because we didn't follow the Most High, He made us subject to women. Now, when that woman gets your heart, what happens? Come on, let's be real, sisters. Let's be real. When you really get that man, you can get a strong man. You ever got that man? He was strong. He loved you. But the nigga, he was too in love. He was like too in love. Like, he was like almost a puppy. And it was a sad puppy at that. You was like, damn, I wanted a strong man. But when you got really what you wanted, which was what? To wrap him around your little finger, you realize what? It's not really what you wanted. But why is that thought there? Why is that really in your head? Because that's what America told you. That's what the white man, that's what Satan gave you. Yeah, he told you you wanted this, but when you get it, you're like, this nigga's weak. Let me go to Tyrone because he can break my back. You know what I mean? This guy, he want to make love. He want to look at me in the eyes. You know what I mean? The other one ain't paying no attention to me. You know what I mean? And that's the one you go for, right? Stop it. See, but you're older. You're a little mature, sis. But but you know how it is. All these girls want some dude that how many times have you seen it? You be like, this dude is treating her like crap, and she's dope. You be like, she's dope, and she likes it. When a man comes to treat her with respect, right? You know, I'm not talking about flowers and you know what I mean, because every man will do that for the moment. I'm talking about this man really is trying to treat her right. She's like, dude, I want to go back with the guy that was terrorizing my life, that we were having hardship with. That's the guy I'm thinking about. Right? You say what?
Misery loves company.
So we got to understand this is all because we've all disobeyed the Most High. We disobeyed the commandments. But look at the account of this wisdom. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land.
Right. So that's why they're saying I need my charger because my phone's going to go out. And he said, listen, the reason why women's the most powerful is because what? Read that part again.
Women have borne the king and all the people that bear rule by sea and land.
Yeah, but remember what we just read? He said in Corinthians, he said Adam was firstborn. Now, this is true, though. I'm not saying this ain't true. The women do bear the kids. They bear these kings, right? But at the same time, the order's been switched to now that because you bear the children is what? Oh, you don't respect the woman? You don't respect the women? I made you, right? That's what's in the black woman's mind. It's like now I have to go all the way out and do everything just to get your phone number. I have to do everything. I have to come crawling. I gotta get flowers. Right, baby, I'm begging. Baby, I'm begging. Baby, I'm begging. I'm bending knee. Right, hold on. I know you went and cheated, but I didn't care. Y'all know the Boys to Men song. You know what I mean? I know you cheated, but I don't care, right? They were. But you understand, is that not what it's been changed into? The man has to submit to the woman. And it's to the point, these men are so broke, they lost their masculinity. That's from where? America. Not only because they're homosexuals, because America has stripped the manhood from the black man. That's why you call him what? Baby boy. That's why you can't get a man to back you up, to be by your side, to support you. Why? Because America has stripped them of their power. And the black man, the Israelite man, they don't know that. They don't see that. So this is right. This is what it's saying. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Even of them came they. And they nourished them up that planted the vineyard.
Yeah, this is why women is powerful, because they bore them, they nourish them up. Go ahead.
For whence the wine cometh. These also make garments for men.
Yeah, they're the ones that make the garments, that make the men look beautiful. This is why women is powerful. This is why men are powerful, because the women take care of them, right? Which is true. I'm not saying that's a lie. The word is true. Go ahead.
These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be.
Right, which is true. And that's why the women are needed, right? But needed for all this in righteousness.
Right.
See, not because I'm trying to kill you, rape you, steal your money, take your power, take your glory, but to support and build a nation.
Right. That's the goal.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a family, a unit, a body. That's what Christ is bringing us back to. That's why we got to relearn everything. Go ahead.
Yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver, or any other godly thing,
right?
Do they not love a woman which is commonly in favor and beauty?
When they get that gold, when they get that money, what all these rappers want the money for? For the women. They took men out of their. I'm going to jump. I don't want to jump ahead. Go ahead.
Verse 19. And letting all those things go, do they not gape? And even with open mouth, fix their eyes fast on her?
Yeah, bruh. You go get a job. You go get a job. You'll get that money. You'll get those new shoes to please a woman.
Right.
See? Go ahead.
And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold?
You see, and this is what the problem is. That men have their desire, we went off. So what he's saying is correct, but at the same time, it's because we've been out of order.
Right.
We didn't focus on the Creator. We don't focus on the Most High. Go ahead.
Or any godly thing whatsoever.
You see that? Go ahead.
A man leaveth his own father that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife.
Yeah, you go leave, you leave your family, you leave your own mama. Go get that woman. You betray your own friends, right? Because your boo said you can't hang around with them no more. Especially in H-Town. Oh, I gotta do it like that. Go to that mall, you see it. They be pulling them right away. No, you don't want none of that nasty stuff.
My girl said.
My girl says we can't do that.
I gotta go see what the wife said.
But it's not Houston, it's America. It's everywhere you go. The black man is being stripped of their power, their masculinity. Read.
Verse 21. He seeketh not to spend his life with his wife.
Go ahead.
And remembereth neither father, nor mother, nor country.
Right. Read on.
But this also ye must know, that women have dominion over you.
Right.
Do ye not labor and toil, and give and bring all to the woman?
Yeah. Everything's about the woman. Right. See, listen. See, the difference is this. You can go home and you got a righteous woman that's tormenting you, or you got a wicked, excuse me, or, you know what I mean, a righteous. Do they supposed to torment you?
A righteous woman does.
I'm just messing with you. Okay.
She
All right, so which one we on now? Nah. The wicked woman torments you, or the righteous woman can be a comfort. That's the difference. Because you're still going to bring it home, right? But she's supposed to bring it home too. Remember Proverbs 31? About a righteous woman? She's supposed to bring it home too. Right? Go ahead.
This is verse 22.
Go ahead.
At 23. Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal.
He would do what?
To rob and to steal.
He would do what?
Rob and to steal.
You got brothers, man, that will kill because they boo sent them out to. They will set up their best friend because they boo sent them out to.
Won't even share with the man they went out with.
Yeah, you won't even, your boy, long time, you would drop him on the wind. Why? Because that wicked woman. This is not a righteous woman. I'm not even going to say this is all women. This is a wicked woman. This is a wicked woman. Because she'll do that. She'll make you go crazy for everything.
It's about divide and conquer.
Yeah. And most of all, from the Creator. Because that's what this is about. Taking our mind off the Most High. Read.
To sail upon the sea and upon rivers.
Right.
And looketh upon a lion and goeth in the darkness.
Yeah, you will go in the darkness for that girl. This is a man giving his strength over to that woman. He would do the most idiotic, stupidest thing for that woman. Go ahead.
And when he has stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his lover.
I got this for you, boo. This for you, baby. Because I discern amongst the youth the simple ones, void of understanding. Go ahead.
Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother.
Check that out. You got to think about this. Go ahead.
Verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits.
They have what?
Run out of their wits.
You got a lot of brothers that do what?
Run out of their wits.
Go ahead.
For women.
They go crazy. She leave them? He want to kill everybody. I'm going to kill everybody.
You don't know how to think.
Oh man, it's like hey Slum, what you do? She just on my mind, man. She's on my mama killing. Hey, I've been through it. Who ain't been through it? You ain't been in love. You ain't been through it. But you've been in that. You broke. That's why it says broken heart. How the heck could a woman break your heart? You gotta think about it. That means she broke your mind.
Oh.
She broke your strength.
Oh.
She broke your resolve. She broke what's in you, and then you what? You want to go hating women, right? She don't supposed to do that. You're supposed to be able to understand her. But read that part again.
This is First Ezra chapter 4 verse 26.
Go ahead.
Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sake.
You see that? You wake up every day thinking about her and not who?
Most High.
Who, class?
The Most High.
You wake up every day thinking about money, cars, clothes, carnal things, but not the Most High. That's why it says, give not thy strength unto a woman. Because it's going to, that's why it says in Revelation, we put it. It said, these are virgins that have not been defiled with women. You understand? I'm going to show y'all something. Now, y'all know about Barak and Deborah, right? Now, if you don't, we're going to get you the chapter, okay? But this is out of the Josephus. Now, Josephus was a historian that wrote down accounts very similar to the Bible. Basically, the Bible, a few different points he brings out. And we're going to read about Barak and Deborah. So this is, I'm going to tell you the page right now. It's 140, page 140 in your Josephus. Now, this is the time of the judges, okay? So Barak, this is Israel going off. Moses is dead. Joshua's dead, right? You're coming into a time of the priesthood where the priest's supposed to be standing up. This is a time where it goes into Samson. Samson was a judge. He was supposed to be a righteous man, right? So you got this time to where Barak and Deborah came about. Now I'm not going over the whole story. You gotta know the story because we'll be here all night. But what happened is Deborah. It says here. This is in the Josephus, the works of Josephus. Okay, and this is in page 140. It's book 5, chapter 5, and it says here how the Canaanites brought the Israelites under slavery for 20 years, after which they were delivered by Barak and Deborah, who ruled over them for 40 years. Now, I'm going to take you to the 3rd verse, and I'm going to show you how a man and what point it got in Israel to where the men were stripped of their vitality and their wisdom and their power. It says in verse 3, so Deborah sent for Barak and bade him to choose out 10,000 young men to go against the enemy, because the Most High had said that that number was sufficient, and purposed them victory, and and promised them victory. But listen to this. But when Barak said that he would not be the general unless she would go as a general with him. Now this is
What?
yeah. Now listen, this is I'm gonna show y'all something. It's showing you here that what level, because we disobeyed Moses and Joshua, we started going off. Oh, I got more for y'all. This is deep. It says she had, listen, this is an Israelite real sister. This is an Israelite sister. See, this is the difference between the women now and the women in the past. She had indignation at what he had said and replied, thou, O Barak, delivers up meaningly that authority which the Most High had given thee into the hand of a woman?
Wow.
She checked him. Like, what the hell is your backbone? This is what it means by men have went out their wits for women. Give not thy strength to a woman. We have been broken down as a nation to where this man was supposed to stand up, but he didn't. So the woman had to come in. And that's just how it is now. The black woman had to bear the burden of these lazy ass niggas. The black woman had to bear the burden of the baby boys. So yeah, she's going to be strong. She's going to be hard. But you got to understand, you don't have to no more when you get this word. You're free. You understand? Just like when you was on crack, dope, strip clubs, gang banging, now you're free. You don't have to keep in that, I got to keep my guard up now. You're supposed to be understanding this. Why you were like that. Why you were in that condition. But you see what she said? And she said, thou, O Barak, delivers up immediately the authority which the Most High had given thee into the hand of a woman, and I do not reject it. Wow. That's a black woman. So they collected 10,000 men and pitched their camp at Mount Tabor. Now, check this out. I'm going to go to book 4, chapter 6. Now, where was that? Where's that in this? You can read about Barak and Deborah in Judges 4.
And this is, just to go with what you said, you got verse 8. It said, and Barak, this is Judges chapter 4, verse 8. And Barak said unto her, if thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. And he was talking about this same battle.
Right. So you see how Josephus, it adds a little more? He's a historian. So the points I'm bringing out here, it's just going to give you a little more edification in these situations. This is book 4, chapter 6, verse 6. Now, this story is about when Israel, and I read this to a brother the other day. This is a book 4, chapter 6. This is about when Israel, we were coming out of Egypt. Okay, this was when the prophet Balaam Okay, he was supposed to find a way to overthrow Israel. Okay, so what he does, he tells one of the kings, the Midianite kings, how do we overthrow them? They're powerful. When God, watch this. I think I can read y'all that part. I just don't want to read the whole thing because it's really long. But it's book 4, chapter 6. And we're gonna read verse 6. Okay, and it says here, but Balak, being very angry that the Israelites were not cursed, because he sent Balaam out, and Balaam couldn't curse him. He was a prophet being used by the Most High, but he wasn't a prophet of Israel. This dude was off, right? It says he sent away Balaam without thinking him worthy of honor. Whereupon, when he was just upon his journey in order to pass the Euphrates, he sent for Barak and for the princes of the Midianites, and spake thus: O Balak, and you Midianites that are here present, for I'm obliged, even without the will of the Most High, to gratify you. It is true, no entire destruction. Listen to this. I want you. This is powerful. It says, no entire destruction can seize upon the nation of the Hebrews, neither by war, nor by plague, nor by scarcity of fruits of the earth, nor can any other unexpected accident be their entire ruin. For the providence of the Most High is concerned to preserve them from such a misfortune. He said, now, will I permit any such calamity, he said, excuse me, nor will it permit any such calamity to come upon them whereby they may perish, but some small misfortunes, and those for a short time, whereby they may appear to be brought low, may still befall them, but after they will flourish again, to the terror of those that brought those mischiefs upon them. So these are nations that knew you can't overthrow the Hebrews. You can't overthrow the Israelites. He said, so that if you have a mind to gain a victory over them, for a short space of time, you will obtain it by following my discretion. So he said, listen, if you want to overthrow them, let me tell you what to do. Do you therefore set out the handsomeness of such of your daughters? He said, let me show you how to throw over the Hebrews. I want you to get the baddest women. Okay? It says, are most intimate, and it says for beauty and proper to force and conquer the modesty of those that behold them. You remember what he said on Harlem Nights? He threw it up in the air and it turned into sunshine. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what he was like. We gonna get the baddest women, right? It says, and conquer the modesty of those that behold them, and these deck and trim to the highest degree you're able. He said, listen, dress them up, not modest. Now you got to get these women to wear the pumps, the jewelry, the makeup, right? Then do ye send them to be near the Israelites' camp, and give them in charge that when they went, excuse me, check this out. When you go to the camp, and give them in charge that when the young men, when the what, class?
Young men.
The what?
Young men.
What?
Young men.
They finna throw the booty at what?
Young men.
Why? Because I beheld among the youth a simple one. Young men, void of understanding. That's in Proverbs. I keep quoting. It says, young men of the Hebrews desire their company. They allowed it. They allowed them. And when they see that they are enamored of them, let them take their leaves. So when they all sprung on you, tell them you got to go. Tell them you got to go. I got to go, right? And if they entreat them to stay, let them not give their consent till they have persuaded them to leave off their obedience to their own laws. Listen. The nations knew this. The woman knows this. Only the young, simple-minded nigga that don't got no wisdom that sprung on the booty, he don't know that. You all in love, you all sprung and googly-eyed, and she like, I'm finna twist his head. He gonna be giving me everything, and then I got that nigga right here. Right? It said, listen. It says, let them not give their consent till they have persuaded them to leave off their obedience to their own laws and worship of their power, who established them, and to worship the gods of the Midianites and the Moabites. And for by this means the Most High will be angry at them. Accordingly, when Balaam had suggested this counsel to them, he went his way. So when the Midianites had sent their daughters, as Balaam had exhorted them, the Hebrew young men were lured by their beauty and came to discourse with them. Discourse, that's a nice way to say they wanted to rap to them. Right? It says, where is it? Discourse with them, and brought them not to grudge them the enjoyment of their beauty, nor to deny them their conversation. These daughters of the Midianites received their words gladly and consented to it and stayed with them. But when they had brought them to be enamored of them, and their inclinations to them were grown to ripeness, they began to think of departing from them. Then it was these men became great. It says, then it was that these men became greatly disconsolate at the women's departure, and they were urgent with them to leave them, but begged. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. Don't hate on mine. But begged that they would continue there and become their wives. And they promised them that they should be owned as mistresses of all they had. This they said with an oath. Check this out. And called for the arbitrary of what they promised, and with tears in their eyes. Baby, I'm begging, please. Please, it's so good. I ain't even hit it yet, but I know it's good. And all such other marks of concern as might show miserable, they thought themselves without them. They ain't even deal with these women yet. You see, these niggas are simple, man. It says, so might move their compassion from them. So the women, as soon as they perceived they had made them their slaves. This is what you got to think about it. If the nations knew this, they're like, listen, we can't destroy them. Send bad women over there. Put them in mini shorts, pump them around on TV, give them some booty injections, fake breasts, and put them on TV, and all you're going to be up there is like, yeah, I want to be a rapper. I want to be around all the stars. I want to be around all the women, right? Listen, they made them their slaves and had caught them with their conversation. They caught them with their conversation because they was telling them, when you go to that Proverbs, what was it? Proverbs, what it says, I beheld amongst youth the simple ones, void of understanding. I think it's Proverbs like, check it, I don't want to quote it wrong. It says, they begun to speak to them. Or it says, oh, you illustrious young men, we have houses of our own at home and great plenty of good things there. Together with the natural affection, love of our parents and friends. Nor is it out of our want of any such thing that we came to discourse with you. It says, nor did we admit of your invitation with design to prostitute the beauty of our bodies for gain. So I came over here and I don't need none from you. You know what I mean? I ain't come to give you my booty, right? That's what they're saying in ghetto terms. But taking you, for brave and worthy men, we agreed to your requests, that we might treat you with such honors and hospitality we require. And now seeing you say that you have a great affection for us, you say you love me, you say you want to be with me, right? And are troubled when you think we are departing, we are not adverse to your entreaties. And if we may receive sure assurance for your good, assurance of your good will, as we think can be alone sufficient, we will be glad to lead our lives with you as your wives. But we are afraid. We are afraid that you will, in time, be weary of our company, and will then abuse us and send us back to our parents after the ignoramus manner. And so they desired that they would excuse them in their guarding against that danger. But the young men professed that they would give them an assurance they should desire, nor did at all contradict what they had requested. So great was the passion they had for them. If then, said they, this be your resolution, since you make us of such customs and conduct of our of life as are entirely different from all other men, and so much that your kinds of food are particular to yourselves, and your kinds of drink not common to others, it will be absolutely necessary if you would have us for your wives, that you withal worship other gods. Nor can there be any other demonstration of the kindness which ye say you have already had, and your promise to have hereafter to us. Then this, that you worship the same gods that we do. For has anyone reason to complain? And now you are come into this country, you should worship the proper gods of the same country. Especially our gods are common to all men, and yours such as belong to nobody else but yourselves. So y'all get what's going on here, right? Worship our gods. Everybody believes in our gods. You guys only believe in the one God, right? It says, or else they must look, where am I at? So they said they must either come into such methods of divine worship as all others came into, or else must look for the other world wherein they may live by themselves according to their own laws. Now the young men were indeed induced by the fondness they had for these women to think they spake very well. So they gave themselves to what they had persuaded them, and transgressed their own laws. And supposing they were many gods, and resolving that they would sacrifice them to the laws of and supposing they were many gods, and resolving that they would sacrifice to them according to the laws of that country which ordained them, they both were delighted with their strange foods, and went on to do everything that the women had them to do. It says, though it contradictions to their laws, so far indeed the transgression was already gone through the whole army of the young men, and they fell into a sedition that was much worse than the former, and into danger. So what they did jeopardized the whole nation. All Israel suffered because what these men did. It says, the whole nation, where are we at? Dang. And so far indeed that this transgression was already gone through the whole army of the young men, and fell into a sedition that is much worse than the former, and into danger of the entire oblation of their own institutions. It says, for when once the youth had tasted of the strange custom, they went with insatiable inclinations into them. And even where some of the principal, this is where I wanted to get to, and even where some of the principal men with illustration of on account of the virtues of their fathers, they also were corrupted together with the rest. So the young men did it, and that got the elder men to start doing it. Now, this is going to talk about this man, this priest called Zimri. Even Zimri, check this out, the head of the tribe of Simeon, accompanied with Cosby and Mandamias, and Midianitish women, who was the daughter of Sur. It says, a man of authority in the country, and being desired by his wife to disregard the laws of Moses and to follow those she was used to, and he complied to her, and both by sacrificing after the manner of different from his own, and by taking a strange wife. So he started to do this. Now I'm gonna jump to this point right here. Look what this cat Zimri tells Moses. It goes down and tells you that basically they started to be cursed. So Moses came in, he was finding out, okay, this was going on. In verse 11 it says, but Zimri rose up after him and said, yes, indeed, Moses, thou art at liberty to make us of such laws as thou art so fond of, and has used of such laws, and have by accustoming thyself to them, made them firm. Otherwise, if these had not been thus, thou hast often been punished before now, and hast known that the Hebrews are not easily put upon. But thou shalt have me, one of thy followers, in thy tyrannical commands, for thou hast nothing else hereto but under pretense of the laws and of the Most High, wickedly imposed upon us slavery. Y'all know what's going on now?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Basically, he got this elder guy to come back and say, Moses, you only, the laws you came up with was because you wanted to do that. So he got all these women got all these people to reconsider the laws, to reconsider Moses. He's like, listen, the only reason why you came up with this is because you wanted to be in power. This is what, think about this. They had all came out of Egypt. They had all seen the power of the Most High. And women got them to turn on everything they believed in. So when you're talking about man going out of his wits, this is what the epitome is. It says, and of the Most High wickedly imposed on us slavery. So Moses didn't deliver them. He's what? He put them in slavery. Now you understand why brothers all of a sudden come and go with some crazy stuff like, oh, brother, that's your thing. Like, you must be talking to your woman at home when you're snuggled up next to her and she's like, why you got to go over there and do that? Why you got to do this? Why you got to do this? And she's whispering in your ear, do you have to do that? Really? Why you got to do that? Oh, because they say so?
Thought you was a man.
I thought you was your man. You supposed to be your own man, right? This is what wicked women put in their man's head. It says here, and gain dominion to thyself. So Moses wasn't a righteous man no more. He was a slave master that had dominion through his own power. This is what he was getting the people to see. It says here, whilst thou deprivest us the sweetness of life. Moses, you doing all this, and you doing what you want to do, and we don't get to live with the sweetness of life.
We was living good.
Which consists in acting according to our own wills. I want to do what I want to do. Well, I got to do that. I want to do my own thing. I want to have the sweetness of life. it says, and is the right of free men. You got to think about what's going on here. This guy has reconsidered and thought about his whole life, his whole way in the truth, all the knowledge over women. You good, Archie? Yeah.
Not inside out.
Yeah. It says, which consists in acting according to our own wills, and is the right of free men, and of those that have no lord over them. Nay, indeed, this man is harder upon us, upon the Hebrews, than were the Egyptians themselves, as pretending to punish, according to his laws, everyone's acting which is most agreeable to himself. Y'all not listening. They're like, Moses came up with the laws himself now.
Right.
That's what booty will make you do. That's what women will make you do. They'll make you rethink the knowledge, the wisdom, the creator. You got to think about this. It says, but thou thyself better deservest to suffer punishment, whose presumest to abolish what everyone not acknowledges to be what is good for him, and amiss to make thy single opinion to have more force than that of all the rest. You know why I like this? Because the scriptures leave that part out, because the Most High is like, listen, they disobeyed Moses, right? And we got to be faithful. They disobeyed him. But this is going into really the mind that's typical. You know, when I read this, I was like, that's what brothers do today. And when I read this, I was like, this is exactly what brothers do today. They get a piece, they get a woman, and then they lose their dang mind.
Right.
They lose their mind and give everything up for that woman instead of really understanding that the Most High has blessed them with that woman. It says, but thou thyself deservest, but thou thyself deservest to suffer punishment, who presumest to abolish what everyone acknowledges to be what is good for him, and amiss to make thy single opinion to have more force than that out of all the rest. And what I now do and think to be right, I shall not hereafter deny to be according to my own sentiments. I want to do what I want to do. I want what I feel right. I want to do. You feel right what you want to do, right? I have married, as thou sayest rightly, a strange woman. Yeah, I did it. I got me a heathen woman. And thou heardest what I do from myself, as from one that is free. For truly I did not intend to conceal myself. I ain't trying to hide it, Moses. I know I'm off, right? Listen, the gist of it is the Most High puts him to death. I'm not gonna read the rest. The Most High puts this priest to death. Why? Because as you read down, it says that he took all the men and the women, the men of Israel, and he got them in that mind. So the Most High put him to death. They went in and they slew this dude. All right, so, you know, I know it's long. I know it's a lot of reading. But y'all can read that. Y'all can read that. That's that's Josephus. That's page 112. It's book 4, chapter 6, on down. Now I'm gonna go into one more. I know it's a lot of reading. Y'all wash your face. I'm gonna go to book 5, chapter 2. Book 5, chapter 2, and verse 7. Chapter 2, book 5, book 4. Book 5, chapter 2. How do you do this? Book 5, chapter 2. I know. Book 5, chapter 2, verse 7. just to give you a little what this chapter is about. How after the death of Joshua, their commander, the Israelites transgressed the laws of their country and experienced great affliction. And when there was a sedition arisen, the tribe of Benjamin was destroyed, excepting only 600 men. Now, this is this is the priest now, right? Remember, the Most High set up priests, he set up judges. It says here, after this, the Israelites grew effeminate. Check this out. It said the Israelites grew effeminate. That's going to tell us, it's a lot of reading, but it's going to tell us how they grew effeminate. After this, the Israelites grew effeminate as to fighting and more against their enemies, but applied themselves to cultivating of the land. These niggas became housewives. It said we became effeminate. This is what happens when we disobey the commandments of the Most High. It said we went to cultivating land. We didn't want to go to war no more. So what happened? We start letting these nations run over us. Check this out. It says, which producing them great plenty and richness. See, so what did they get? They got what? Riches. Money. They got money. It says, we're producing them great plenty and riches. They neglected the regular disposition of their settlement and indulged themselves in luxury and pleasures. Nor were they any longer careful to hear the laws that belong to their political government. So they ain't worried about the laws of the Most High. They worried about what? Money.
Pleasure.
Whereupon the Most High was provoked to anger and put in his mind first how, contrary to his directions, they had spared the Canaanites, because he told them to go kill them. Right. But they spared them. And after that, how the Canaanites, as opportunity served, used them very barbarously. But the Israelites, though they were in heaviness at these admonishings from the Most High, yet were they very unwilling to go to war. We lost our backbone. Instead of standing up for our people, our nation, we was fine for what? Chilling at the crib, making money. Is that something new for Israel? It ain't nothing new. That's why I said, when I read this, I was like, this can't be here. This is crazy. I was like, we were doing this back then when we lost our strength and our favor in the Most High's eyes. When we put our trust in money and carnal, the Most High took our strength from us. It says, and since they got large tributaries from the Canaanites and were indisposed for taking pains by their luxury, they suffered their aristocracy to be corrupted also, and did not ordain themselves a senate, nor any other magistrates as their laws had formerly required. But they were much given to cultivating their fields in order to get wealth, which great indolence of theirs brought a terrible sedition upon them. And they proceeded so far as to fight one against another. One against another. Check that out, man. If that ain't Israel right now, man, it says, from the following occasions. It says, there was a Levite, a man of a vulgar family, which belonged to the tribe of Ephraim, dwelt therein. This man married a wife in Bethlehem. Now, this is not long. It says, in Bethlehem, which is a place belonging to the tribe of Judah. Now, he was very fond. And the reason I went here is to show you that these priests, they start to marry whores. They start to marry and be disrespected by their women. They start to fall for these women. Check this out. This is crazy. Now, he was very fond of his wife and overcome by her beauty. He was overcome by her beauty. He fell for her beauty instead of. That's why it says, go to the Apocrypha. Give me that one in the Apocrypha. It says he was overcome by her beauty But he was unhappy in this. You get that? You ever meet that brother? He's like, he's in love with this chick, but he don't know why. She treat him like crap, but he don't know why. You understand? Why? Because you have given her your strength, your mind. You went out of the witch for the women. She treat you wrong. She tell you she want to feel other men inside of her. But you're what?
In love.
And you're in love. You understand?
Out of your wits.
Out of your wits. Check this out. It says, now he was very fond of his wife and overcome by her beauty, but he was unhappy in this, that he did not meet with the like return of affection from her. This dude's in love with a stripper. And he think he's going to get some love. Right? Listen. It said, for she was adverse to him. You say potato? I said potato. Right? I want to do this. Nah, I don't like that. But I like this for me. Nah, I don't like that. But I want to do this. We should do this. Yeah. Nah, I don't want to do that. Baby, you know I was thinking about starting this business. Yeah, no. For she was adverse to him, which did more inflame his passion for her. You got that scripture?
No.
Give me that one. Go to Ecclesiastes 25, verse 26. 25 and 21.
Ecclesiastes chapter 25 and verse 21.
Read it.
Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for her pleasure.
Desire, do what?
Desire her not for pleasure.
Do what?
Desire her not for pleasure.
Because he was caught up into what? He was caught up into her beauty and her. He wasn't caught up in her spirit. That's why the law, it told the priest you can't get a woman that wasn't a virgin.
Right.
And for you not to marry a harlot. You understand? That's why they gave him that. They gave him that law. So this dude this shows you, man, how we go out of our wits for women. For she was adverse to him, which did more inflame his passion for her, so that they quarreled one with another perpetually. You arguing with this woman all the time, but you loved it her. She loved it me. How she love you? She's not in order. She don't like what I tell y'all. Can two walk together? Can two walk together? Yeah, you want it. You want to serve the Most High. She want the world. You don't celebrate Christmas. She want Christmas. You don't celebrate Thanksgiving. She want Thanksgiving. You like your eggs this way? She don't want to cook them that way because Mama told her to cook them this way. Oprah said this, that she was independent. You gonna do them that way. She's at you. Two different worlds, baby. Baby.
Oh.
Baby. Two different worlds. It says, and at last the woman was disgusted at these quarrels, that she left her husband and went to her parents in the 4th month. Let me guess what he did. Y'all want to take a guess? Then the husband, being uneasy at her departure, and that out of his fondness for her, came to his father's and mother's house. Came to his father and mother-in-law, and made up their quarrels, and was reconciled to her. What did he do? Chased her.
I'm gonna go to her house.
We was meant to be together. Now, it's 12 o'clock. But now I want y'all, when you get home, to read the same story. Y'all gonna read this story in your Bible. Because guess what happened to her? Who knows the story? What happened to the same thing. The Benjamites did what to this woman?
Oh, they cut her up.
They what?
I mean, she played the harlot. They did her really bad, and the husband cut her up.
They went to the city. He went traveling. and he wanted to travel at night. So he went and stood in the house, and the Benjamites there, they were wicked as hell. They were wicked. So they brought her out and they raped her. They raped her so bad she died. See, the part that the edification that's not in there is why the Most High got her ass raped. She was wicked. She was a whore. Watch. Go to your Bible. I'm gonna show y'all. See, this is why it was. This is what the part that was left out is. Man, I had this, dude. That makes me upset. I thought I wrote it down.
It's like Judges 20.
Is it?
It's Judges 19.
Is it?
It's in those times, I think.
Get it, please, real quick. But the point is this, that she died miserably. Okay? And what he did was chop her up. And he cut her up into 12 pieces and sent her to all the tribes. And said, this is what Benjamin did.
It's
Just tell them the chapter, they can go and read it.
okay. This Judges chapter 20.
That's what y'all gotta go home and read it.
19 and 20.
19 and 20, the whole thing.
Because what you're gonna see is this. The part that the scriptures didn't really go into, when it said she was a harlot, because it tells you in the Bible.
Yeah, she's a concubine.
It tells you she was a concubine, right? But it didn't go into why was she a concubine. You understand? And why she got cut in pieces. Why the Most High let that happen to this woman. And all Israel went to war after this. And they almost destroyed Benjamin to where they were no more a tribe.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like we don't got time to go into it, but when you read the story, that's how deep it was. But all because what? These men of Israel, they left the laws of the Most High. And they start to chase money, women, carnal things. A righteous woman don't want a man to do this. Because your whole house gets cursed. Go to Proverbs 14:1. So this is what it means for a woman to go out of her wits. Let's go, women. A man to go out of her wits. A man to go out of his wits. And a woman to take you out of the wits. Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Every wise woman buildeth her house.
Yeah, a wise woman don't want that. She don't want her man to bow down to her and beg to her and submit to her and crawl to her. She wants that man, a wise woman, a woman of the world. We know what you are. We know what you want. Like, I know what you want. I'm not stupid. I know what you want. I know you want me, baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging. You understand? But a righteous woman doesn't want that. Go ahead.
But the foolish plucketh it down with her
but
hand.
a foolish woman, she wants this. A wicked woman, she wants this. Why? Because that's what she was raised on. That's what America brought her up into. She thinks that's life, that's living. When the woman gets in order, when the man gets in order, and we lock into the Most High, that's what we're going to get blessed in. We're not going to get blessed in the man disobeying the laws, the woman coming in and breaking the man's spirit. Why did the Most High do that? To show us how we were adulterous and how we were harlots. So he said, okay, you want to be adulterous, harlot, stiff-necked nation? I'm going to go ahead and turn your woman against you. You understand that? So, no, that was it. Did I go? Yeah, I went to that Joseph, that Barak and Deborah, and then I went to the media night one. Okay, so yeah, did y'all have any questions on that? Yeah, that Josephus goes hard, man. It goes hard. Anybody have any questions on that? Yeah, what's up?
Hey, it's funny because we went over this today on the way to the mosque, and we went over Samson, and one of the first things Samson did was when he found that woman that was a Canaanite.
That was another woman, another story I was going to bring out, because you got to read it in the Josephus. You got to read it even in the book of Judges. When you read about Samson, This dude, he was supposed to be a judge. The Most High put the spirit on him for a reason. But what was his downfall?
Women.
A woman.
And it was women that were opposite of everything.
Right. I got another one too. When you go into, listen, if y'all study it, and I don't want to do the redundant thing and go back over it, but when you go into Solomon and the Josephus, oh my God, it tells you straight out, even more clear. It tells you that he started dealing with the women of the other nation, and they start getting him into the other gods. Because he had wives, but when he started dealing with these women of the other nations, bro, they started leaving him to worship these other gods, and it said he slipped. He said he slipped in his old age and started building calves and all these things. But I mean, just like the scripture says, it just gives a little more edification. All right, so nobody has any questions on the topic, off the topic? No? Okay, we'll wait till brothers and sisters online. Do y'all have any questions online? We do have Sabbath class in the morning. And that's, let me see here. I'll wait to see if y'all have any questions in there.
I have a question.
Sis, I'm sorry. Let me ask this as a new sister. Sis, did you have any questions? Okay, I know you knew. I hope I wasn't too hard with it. Yeah.
Josephus is a collection of books, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Josephus, it goes into, it's a collection of books, but it really just goes through our history.
Okay.
It goes straight through our history. Yeah, so he was a Jewish historian. You know, not everything is on point, but for the most part, you know, everything is right on point. You know, there's a few things that he says, little discrepancies, but for the most part, everything is on point.
Okay.
Right.
He goes into like the archaeology and stuff like that too. So his books are like.
The archaeology, as far as.
No, I don't know because I seen like he got a book like with a coin on it, like Josephus. I don't know.
That's the same one.
Is it the same one? It's probably the same one. Yeah.
Oh, that's probably the same one.
Yeah. Oh, this one? Oh yeah, I got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably a darker one.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Nobody has any questions online. I want to thank all you brothers and sisters that are online. If any brothers want to make any donations, alms, tithes, anything you want to give to the school to help us out, computers, we need pens, we need papers. That's for everybody that comes to class. We need a computer. We always need stuff like that. You know what I mean? So if y'all want to help out the school in any way, and you don't want to give money, pens, papers, you know what I mean? Anything you want to give, we'll take it. Otherwise, remember Purim is coming up. Still, that's 2 months. That's 2 months. That's coming up, but we want to keep reminding y'all so you do keep these high holy days. Just like you was looking out for Christmas when you was in the world, we want to look out for our high holy days. All right? Otherwise, if that's it, let's say shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Okay.